Have your sports curiosity cured.
Watch you offensive rebound by Regal. It's time here, down to two. Mark to the lead. Second left. Mark puts Texas in front. What a shot. Go, baby. I say, gotta go. Boy, this way. He's clutch.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Themselves. Here's a drive to center field for the bat of Abreu. Well, you're Abreu. Hits it up.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Wheels it up the right-hand side. Henrique and Frederick digging down low. Henrique shoots to save. Rebound. It's Jones. Edmonton regains the lead 4-3. Jones' second goal as an Oiler this year.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 628. Thursday, March the 19th, game day for the Edmonton Oilers with the Florida Panthers in town. And hey, March showers, a little rainy coming into the Sports 1440 studios here at West Edmonton Mall this morning. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive here on a Thursday morning. So glad you could spend some time with us here and talk a little sports for the next 4 hours. You can also watch us as well on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We would appreciate that. And we're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and even the old Twitch. And as always, we're on the many streaming services that are out there on iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, and even on sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, well, you can catch it by searching it where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe. It's free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Yeah, a lot of people looking forward to this game. You know, when the schedule comes out, you look at the calendar and you go, okay, who's coming into town when? And whenever the Florida Panthers are coming to town, obviously it brings back some memories for the Oilers and the Oilers fans. Unfortunately, just not really, really good ones because the Oilers obviously lost to the Florida Panthers in the last two Stanley Cup finals. So this is a rematch of the two Cup finals where Florida won in Game 7 in 2024. And then Florida won in Game 6 in 2025. So, so many things to unfold here, to unpack, because this is a game where, again, not only the Oilers, but Oiler fans had it circled on their calendar. It's changed, I think, a little bit only because the fact that Florida is not going to make the playoffs this year. They've had a really rough season led by injuries. They've had some critical key injuries right off the hop, none more than to the captain, Sasha Barkov, who is going to miss the entirety of the regular season here. So they've had many, many injuries. There is not one Oiler fan right now that's saying, we feel sorry for you. We feel sorry, but that's the way it goes. Having said that, there's been so many things that have been brought up in the last several weeks with the Kachucks at the Olympics, with Leon and things like that, that, you know, there is still a burr under the saddle of a lot of the Oilers that I think we'll see a little bit tonight. Having said all that, the most important part here is the 2 points for the Oilers, because they desperately need to keep climbing the standings and stay on pace of what and where they are in the Pacific Division and the Western Conference. The Anaheim Ducks picked up a point last night. They lost to Philadelphia 3-2 in overtime. So that 1 point gives the Ducks 78 on the year. That's one more than the Oilers in the Pacific Division. Anaheim also has a game in hand. The Oilers are 1 point up on the Vegas Golden Knights, who also have a game in hand. The Oilers beat the Panthers back in November, and that was a game where everyone wanted to talk about. And, you know, again, probably circled on the calendar. 6-3 was the final, November the 22nd. Man, we talked about the Florida injuries, and they come into this one really, really limping. As mentioned, Alexander Barkov on injured reserve the entirety of the year. Brad Marchand just went on IR last few days, so he's done for the year. That line last year of Marchand, Lundell, and Eetu Luosterainen was one of the key reasons that the Florida Panthers beat the Oilers in the Stanley Cup final. Luosterainen is day-to-day. He hasn't been playing. Evan Rodriguez is out. Nico Mikkola is out. Sam Reinhart has missed time. John Gadjevich has missed time. Cole Schwint has missed time. But again, there are no roses being thrown on the grave here of the Florida Panthers by Edmonton Oilers fans. You can be guaranteed that. The one feel-good local story with all of the injuries that the Florida Panthers have acquired and suffered and whatever is a local product. Michael Benning was called up. He was called up last week. I guess it would be a week ago, and played his first game in Columbus. Since then, he's played a couple more games. So he's played 3 games in total, including the other night in Vancouver. Michael Benning, this is a hell of a story. Brian Benning's his dad. And hey, Brian Benning's going to join us later in the show at 10 o'clock. Obviously, brother Matt Benning played here for several years with the Edmonton Oilers. Michael was really 2 different type of players for the Benning brothers, for sure. Michael's got a little more offensive flair. I think you could say smaller, but he's been up for 3 games. He picked up an assist in his first game, and we're going to talk to his dad coming up at 10 o'clock later on the show today. As for the Oilers, they go into this one with a record of 34, 26, and 9. Panthers are 33, 31, and 3. Oilers power play still number 1 in the league. The lines are going to stay exactly what they were from the other night after the win over San Jose with Connor McDavid between Matt Savoy and Zach Hyman. The Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, and Roslovic line showed, again, glimpses of offensive flair, and everyone knows with 3 centers how they can be a shutdown line as well. So many kudos to how Josh Szymanski's been playing. And, when you got Podkolzin and Kapanen on the wings, so critical because those 2 veteran guys are helping a younger guy here as well. And then Adam Henrique, Max Jones, and Trent Frederick. That line was one of the main reasons, along with the third line. The third and fourth line were the main reasons that the Oilers beat San Jose the other night. Defense pairings will stay the same. Still waiting to hear a little bit more on Ty Emerson and his status moving forward. He's on the ice. I don't know if it's going to be a closer to return date here than maybe longer. And Connor Ingram, again, after a win over the Sharks, will be back in the cage again for the Oilers. The big game last night in the NHL, and this was a doozy. Dallas and Colorado. The Stars come back and win it 2-1 in a shootout. So Dallas is now 2 points back. Just 2 points back of Colorado for top spot in the Central and in the Western Conference for the President's Trophy. Home ice throughout the playoffs. What can you say about how well the Dallas Stars are playing? I mean, it's a hell of a run they've been on, and all of a sudden Colorado just kind of leaking a little bit. Colorado does have a game in hand as well. Carolina beat Pittsburgh in overtime, a wild affair. 6-5 was the final there. And then a really tough loss for Ottawa. They go into Washington, and the Capitals get some great goaltending by Logan Thompson. Shut down and shut the big guns for Ottawa out till late in the game and win that one by a score of 4-1. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne here at 7:09 in the morning. Good morning, Duke.
Good morning, Kev.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Really?
Plenty to be excited about, even with the drizzly rain. I didn't need an umbrella this morning. I managed to endure without it. You talk about some of those games that were on the NHL schedule last night. I was glued to them. Yeah. Starting with the Pittsburgh-Carolina one, it was as back and forth. Like they traded, it was one goal for the other back and forth, trading the entire night. Pittsburgh eventually got a couple consecutive before the Canes tied it and then win it in extra time. So that was entertaining. Yeah. That Colorado-Dallas game, that was about as close to a playoff game feel that you'll find in the regular season. And Colorado was the better team most of the night. Like Jake Ottinger, when he's playing like that, how he played over the course of 65 plus the shootout, he stopped all 3 shootout attempts too. You look at the Stars and say, I can't envision them losing come playoff time. Now, Oilers fans know it firsthand. The last two conference finals, Stuart Skinner out-dueled Jake Ottinger, but he was unconscious last night. Really entertaining game. Finished it up with the Ducks and Flyers. Anaheim managed to salvage a point out of it to pull back ahead of the Oilers in the division, but chance for the Oilers to return the favor tonight if they can secure 2 points against the hated Panthers from South Florida.
Got to ask you about the Carolina-Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
I know I saw some post from a reporter out east beaking Stu Skinner.
Yeah.
And then I was watching, I didn't watch the game like you, but I watched all the highlights and I watched him a couple times. Like he made some incredible saves.
It was one of the more bizarre games you'll watch, and I put a tweet out about it because it was 5-5, and it kind of felt like a last shot wins type game. But with that in the same breath, like Stuart Skinner made what was arguably the save of the year on a diving across with the glove hand type stop. Only, Ottinger made Stone McKinnon only a few hours later, so maybe it was immediately nulled it. But and listen, he gave up the one goal where kind of guy came in from the short side on the goal line, and you question like, I'm not really sure what Skinner's thinking there. But that's kind of the nature of sport and the nature of the position. We know very well firsthand that Stuart Skinner's not a perfect goaltender and he has flaws. But it's crazy to say, like, I would definitely not put Stuart Skinner at the top of the pedestal as why the Penguins lost that game last night. He held him in it in the first period. Yeah. Carolina was all over
shots.
They were mauling them, and Skinner held him in the game.
Yeah,
and eventually they like I said, they get 6 past him by the time it's all said and done. But it's not a very accurate representation of his total body of work. I didn't think so. And then you go to the other end, the Hurricanes, who are a team that prides themselves so much on defense and
they're
limiting into 2 straight games. And in this one, like I took the over in that game because it seemed like Frederik Andersen, who I will defend till my last breath in his NHL career, he's been very poor this year. He struggled mightily. But even the night previous against the Blue Jackets, right? Brandon Busty, who's having an unreal season, he gave up a 5 spots. So the Hurricanes are all of a sudden looking a little vulnerable from a defensive and goals against perspective, which is odd for them, especially this time of year.
Yeah. Hey, our NCAA bracket is gaining steam. Even Pete Panotsky over at K97 says he's in.
So, you gave him all the hot tips during your hit over there this morning?
You know what I told him? I said, just pick the mascots. I said, Pete, he has no sniff. He follows F1 and the Oilers, and that's it.
Well, hey, as long as you've got your niece. And listen, Kev, I'm right there with you. I've been talking to some people that don't follow college basketball, even like they couldn't name any colleges, let alone which ones are good at basketball. And I tell them, like, with all sincerity, if you pick off nothing but the logos or the mascots or just guess outright, you have just as good of a chance at winning our specific pool as me, Declan, defending champion Donovan. It's a crapshoot. That's what makes the tournament so much fun.
And it's changed a lot since the NIL. I mean, that's the bottom line here. It's changed so much. And, last year there were in the first round last year, Duke, only five double-digit seeds won in the first round, and 2 of them were 10 seeds.
Yeah. And I don't know if you have the full bracket from last year in front of you or just some numbers. I believe all 4 top seeds from each region were in the Elite 8, and we had all 4 number 1 seeds in the Final 4, right? It just kind of seems like that's the direction the sport is heading because of the NIL thing, and the best teams just get better. And we don't have guys. It's very rare for players to stay more than a year or 2 anymore. Not like
parity is gone.
I'm right there with you. And so it does make for a lot more chalk, but at the same time, does that make it even a little bit more exciting when we do get one of these a little bit off the board type upsets, whether it be in round 1, 2, or even beyond? Yeah.
So how are we doing? We should be.
We've got a good rush here in the last couple of days, leading into this morning's official tip-off when brackets will lock. So I said it yesterday on Fantasy Frenzy, but I'm going to walk it back. I said, don't hit me up this morning trying to get in last second. We're happy to take it. It's all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. If you want to put a bracket in, $10 e-transfer to Brandon at sports1440.ca. And then put your email in the memo or the message line of the e-transfer, and I will then email you the link. And if you do that, basically anytime before 10 o'clock, I will get you the link, and you can get your bracket filled out, even if it is pretty last minute.
For sure. So get them in, and the more, the merrier. We'd love to give as much as we can to the Ben Stelter Foundation for sure. Last night in the NBA, the Toronto Raptors pounded Chicago 139-109. RJ Barrett had 23. Brandon Ingram had 18. The Raptors were 57% from the field. 7 players were in double figures. This is the first of a 5-game road trip. So good start to this road trip for Torontosaurus. And in the Western Hockey League, the Edmonton Oil Kings beat Calgary last night by a score of 5-1. Canada beat Scotland 7-5 at the Women's World Curling Championship in Calgary. So coming up in the big program, as mentioned, we are going to check in with Paul Sir from Hoop City right off the hop here, right off the bank to talk a little NCAA. We'll probably touch on the Raptors last night. We'll probably touch on the provincial 5A basketball championships in our city that tip off today. Mark Spector, Frank Saravalli, our double barrel shotgun insiders in hockey from 8 o'clock, and then 8:20 for those two dudes. Matt Barrett, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play man. We'll discuss last night's Oil Kings win where Caden Stroder had 3 goals. Hat trick for the Oil Kings. They have 2 more games. The finale of their regular season is Sunday afternoon. That's when they hand out all the hardware and things like that, but tons to discuss with Matt Barrett. David Dwork from the Hockey News covers the Florida Panthers. We'll check in at 9:20. Brian Benning at 10 bells. We'll discuss his son, Michael, that was called up and is playing for Florida tonight against the Oilers. And then Zach Lang from Oilers Nation at 10:20. When we come back, Paul Sir from Hoop City. It's the Kevin Karius Show, presented by Sports Select on Sports 1440 AM radio with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in 3s. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE. your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 721 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is so easy too. Visit sportselect.com, generate the QR code. There are videos to walk you through it. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Got to read you a little poem that I stumbled upon. A small little poem here. And it goes like this. March Madness is upon us when tourney hoops reign supreme. 'Tis the time of the season when we all share in the dream. Players first and foremost achieve their lofty quest. All the work and sacrifice leads to playing against the best. I'll skip a couple of verses and go to the end. As always in the Christmas season, the true magic of this season lies in the imaginations of young girls and boys watching the madness through their eyes. Now that is from an unknown poet. No, I'm just kidding. It is our next guest. It is Paul Sir from Hoop City. Good morning, Paul. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show, as usual. Really appreciate you coming on. And you are the author of that fine sonnet.
You know, as I like writing a newsletter, blog, whatever you call it. And once in a while, I get a crazy notion like that, and I thought, what the hell? I just started. I wrote it in literally about 45 seconds, but I thought, and it shows, by the way. But it's a cute little ditty of this time of year, and where I took it from is, this is where so many kids' dreams start. Is this time of year, and when I saw it in myself. I mean, I remember it in the much humbler time when March Madness was not madness at all, but it was the NCAA tournament. But
yeah,
my sons all skipped school to watch opening day, so everybody was magically sick on Thursday. So anyway, thanks for reading that silly little thing.
I was looking at it the other day, and I was thinking, I got to read this when Paul comes on for sure. Yeah, Paul Sir from Hoop City with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So, we're about 3 hours and a little bit till tip-off here for the first round of games. And I was just talking in the opening segment here, Paul, about how there were only 5 upsets last year of double-digit teams. 2 of them were top 10 seeds, and this is all because of the main thing, I guess you would say, is the NIL and everything, where the top is heavy and the bottom not so much here, Paul.
Yeah, it's the way capitalism now is affecting the game of basketball. Is the field was never level. I remember, when Chris Webber and the Fab Five were playing for Michigan, they were all driving Mercedes.
Yeah.
And that wasn't coming from their scholarship money. So the playing field's never been level, but now it's institutionalized, that of the haves and the have-nots. And now you've got, for folks that don't understand NIL, name, image, and likeness money, but players are now paid to play at universities. And it's hundreds of thousands, and in some case, even millions of dollars to play college basketball.
Yeah.
And if you're from if you're from High Point, or you're not going to have millions of dollars floating around to bring players in. So now that leads to this lack of a level playing field. 5 upsets last year. And I look over the bracket. I'd be shocked if we had 2 or 3. I kind of targeted a couple that are maybes. But, it's going to get harder and harder for the mid-majors to break through and pull off 1 or 2 upsets.
Yeah, so let's start with a few of the upsets. And you've got University of Northern Iowa, always, but maybe just your thoughts on a couple that you have pegged here, Paul.
Well, Miami of Ohio last night beat SMU in the play-in game. Miami lost one game all year, and they're dismissed because they didn't have the quad one wins, and they certainly didn't play a lot of the big schools. But I mean, to win 30 games, you've got to be able to play. And SMU is not a particularly great team, but they're from a bigger conference, and Miami handled them. Tennessee has been a very erratic team this year. Athletically, they're superior to Miami of Ohio, but that's one that it wouldn't be. I could see that happening. That's number one. The reason I also picked on Northern Iowa, aside from the fact of my Iowa, being a homer, of course, but there's actually there's a sound basis. And to me, this is the most NCAA-ish, and that's not a word, of all of the matchups in the first round, is that UNI plays. They have the lowest turnover rate in the country. One of the best defensive averages in the country, and one of the lowest possession rates in the country, meaning they pound the air out of the basketball when they have it. They don't give it away, and they shoot deep in the shot clocks, which reduces the number of possessions that your opponent has with a 30-second shot clock. And St. John's is an athletic, up-tempo, push, push, push. So the clash is what I love about NCAA basketball. The one time of the year you get to see these majors against these smaller schools, and their systems collide, and it's who can impose their will in a one-game situation. Yeah. So that's why I picked UNI. They're healthy. They weren't healthy all year, and they're good. So this could be an upset.
It seems to me, Paul, the biggest upset when you go through and read all the experts, as I was doing last night, is VCU and North Carolina. Why would that be the number one upset where a lot of the experts think it could happen?
Because VCU is a good team, and North Carolina is banged up. They don't have their full contingent, which is also, by the way, some storm clouds for Duke, too. Duke is not as healthy as you would like to be going into the playoffs, but the VCU North Carolina game, that's one I pick. That's one I look at too, and I picked that as an upset as well, because VCU can play. They're from a good conference. They're a very good team. They're tough. They're hard nosed. And North Carolina, again, through the course of the year, has been good and bad. And now that I forget the gentleman's, the player's name, but one of their best players is hurt. This is one that probably is primed to happen.
Do you have another one or two top of mind, but besides those two, Paul, where you think it could happen?
Texas A&M over St. Mary's, that's a possibility. St. Mary's is big. They're a grinding team. A&M comes from a very good conference. So, and that's a 7-10. So, I mean, you're not dealing with a big spread anyway, but I could see that happening. And then as well, I could see that second round though. What I'm curious about is Central Florida against UCLA. Okay. UCLA has been very erratic this year as well. And Central Florida has some really, really good athletes. And they historically play the tough teams in one-game situations really well. And then the other one is South Florida and Louisville. And I kind of like this one because, again, South Florida, extremely athletic, and Louisville, somewhat unpredictable and inconsistent in their play. And South Florida, by the way, has one of two Edmontonians that are in March Madness. He's a redshirt this year. Onyx Nani, 6'9" redshirt from Edmonton, is there, along with Mariel Akantwak for Texas Tech. They're both in March Madness, and Mario plays a little bit, but at least we have Edmontonians representing us.
Yeah. The one, and as you said, the 10 seeds are like, whoop-de-doo. Yeah. The two games that you did mention, and I was like, okay, the one that caught my point, and you mentioned them right off the hop, is High Point, and they play Wisconsin here. Is there a chance you think that this game could end up in an upset here, Paul?
It could, but and the reason it could is, again, is the element of surprise.
Right.
Like literally nobody ever hears of High Point unless they happen to end up here, and that's such a part of the charm of this event. but High Point is good. And I think the thing they do really well is they shoot the ball really well. And we've seen historically that on given nights, teams that shoot the ball really well have a shot in a one-game situation where they can disrupt their opponent, their superior opponent on defense. And then if they're hitting their shots, I'm thinking of, I think it was Oakland out of Michigan a couple of years ago, had a kid that was just on fire. And and again, I'm not recalling specifics, Kevin, but
right.
This is where the magic of this one and done kind of event really takes hold. And High Point's one of those that you'll have to watch and see if they can establish themselves when the game gets started.
Yeah, for sure. Paul Sir with us on the Kevin Karius Show from Hoop City. Is the East region the toughest by far in your estimation, Paul? Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Duke, my gosh, Kansas. And the curiosity about Kansas is, will their great player Peterson actually compete for an entire game and really, really want to showcase his talent? Because all year he's been very conditional. But if he does, Kansas will be better. But St. John's is, highly rated. Michigan State, UConn. I mean, my gosh, it's just loaded top to bottom. And of course, the number one seed is Duke. So yeah, they're the toughest. It's kind of like so heavily loaded. You always wonder after the Selection Sunday what it was like in that room, that they would conclude that this would balance out against a couple of the other regionals that weren't as strong.
How many brackets did you fill out, Paul? And for the most of them, who's your winner?
37. No, I filled out I filled out 3 so far. One I did with just the seeds going through to the end. And then a couple of others where I call it my Iowa bias bracket. And then the other one is what I is trying to be pragmatic and pick who the winners will be. I have Arizona winning it this year. A lot of people question that. I have Houston in the finals. I think Houston is good enough to get to the finals again. They've been there. Calvin Sampson, he gets a toughness out of his players that I think is at an elite level. I think they've got a shot at beating Florida, who again they got walloped in the conference conference championship finals. They can be had. They've been a real streaky team this year. So but I've got Arizona, Tommy Lloyd, been to Edmonton many times. Great guy. Love to see the Wildcats win it.
Paul, we're sort of on the same page. I got Houston beating Arizona in the final.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Great minds thinking alike almost, and you have the perfect right to be wrong, Kevin.
That's right. Hey, anything else with the men's before? Because I want to talk about the women's. I want to talk about 5A and a couple other things here.
No, not
perfect.
No, I just think it's it's the haves and have-nots, and are we going to see how many of these special upsets are we going to actually see this year? That's the story to me.
Quick comment on the women's bracket, Paul.
The women's game has come so far, and I would not say that we're still at a point of parity in the women's basketball world. The top 8 are so much better than everybody else. But UConn and is the dominant force. They've got 2 of the very best players in the country. This is an emotional pick. I want to see UCLA win out of the Big Ten. I like UCLA. They've been there again. Is this their year? They can overcome an undefeated. And this is what I'm banking on, Kevin, is the fact that UConn's undefeated. They have not tasted defeat. They have hardly been challenged all year. So if they get into a challenging game, maybe that's an opportunity for UCLA to win. But South Carolina's tough. Michigan's very good. I just don't think they're good enough to overcome UConn and UCLA to get to the finals. So I've got UConn and UCLA in the finals, UCLA winning. How about you?
I'll be honest, Paul. I kind of stay away from that side of things. I got enough things on the go with
Okay.
That's all.
Yes, you do, Kevin.
Sorry, buddy. But and it's kind of sad that the 5A provincials are here on the same weekend here to kick things off. I know you can kind of take in both, but I mean, we've got the 5A high school championships here. We had Fallon Middlemiss on yesterday. We were talking about so many of the great players, and we brought up Pippa Delaney from Raymond. Delaney Gibbs' sister, younger sister. So we've been talking about Delaney, you and I, for several years here, but this should be unbelievable weekend here.
You know, I had nothing to do with the decision on the part of the ASAA to go to a 5A, but I will say this. Mm-hmm. When I started at Alberta Basketball in 2008, in 2009, I made a presentation to ASAA and say you need to do a 5A or an elite league to battle against the inevitable coming of prep schools sucking our high school talent out into prep schools. And I'm so glad to see the ASAA has gone to a 5A to give the elite teams in the province the opportunity to compete against each other and also balance out the other categories, 1A through 4A. So I agree with you, Kevin. It's unfortunate that it's on the same weekend, so people can't get out and enjoy it, because there are a lot of really good players. There's over 15. We have over 25 young men and young women playing Division I basketball from the province of Alberta now. Yeah. So the province continues to get better and better. Any way we can showcase it is a positive. So hopefully next year they can adjust the date so it comes in the weekend before, and we don't have this issue again, because this is great. And getting out and seeing that Raymond team play, and Pippa, you know, some people say she's better than Delaney.
Which should be crazy.
Yeah. That whole story is unbelievable. The Raymond, Cardston, McGrath story. I mean, McGrath, powerhouse teams, boys and girls. And McGrath, that is the quintessential blink and you miss it when you drive through it. And they just, all they do is they beat up on other 5A schools.
And football too.
And football. I mean, it's an unbelievable story.
Yeah. So, you know, when we have there's games at the Saville Center for the finals, but it'll be at co-hosted by Ainley and Scona. So the school spirit, I was talking about this with Fallon, and that's the most incredible part to me, being able to cover high school basketball for 30 years here, 33 years. Some of the best memories I have, Paul, of going to those gyms and seeing the kids and the excitement and everything like that.
It is the most special thing that I think young people can experience, and something that they should dream of and should strive for, because once you get there, the school spirit, like you said, it's unlike it's really the kids that are there and the families that are able to take part of it. It really is a special experience.
Anything I'm missing as we wrap up here? Maybe a comment on the Raptors' decisive win over the Bulls last night, Paul?
Well, the Bulls aren't very good, but the Raptors are playing better. And you know who the guy is right now that's leading the way, I think, in galvanizing them so that they're a tougher team, is a name you'd never expect to hear, and that's Jakob Poeltl. He's playing unbelievable. And the Raptors are finding him, because he's a guy that totally depends on teammates feeding him the ball at the right time. But I mean, his efficiency around the basket. But when you have Poeltl scoring 18 to 25 points, you're going to be tough to beat, because there's a lot of talent around him. And that's not where people expect a lot of productivity to come from. But Jakob's tearing it up.
Well, he had 17 last night. Mahmoud Kalashvili also had 17. So they had a lot of guys in double-digit scoring for sure last night.
Absolutely. It's great. That's great to see.
You know, as you said, Chicago stinks, but they go into Denver tomorrow night. Now, this is going to be a really tough task, especially the way they play against the top-level teams.
Well, you know what, though? Denver's really struggling right now. They lost to Memphis last night. And so, you know, they can't guard anybody right now for whatever reason. They miss Peyton Watson, but that seems like a pretty empty excuse for the Denver team. Jokic continues to be highly productive. Jamal continues to play well, but they're just not there yet. And especially on the defensive side, I think the Raptors have a real shot tomorrow night to be right in the thick of it with them. I do.
Well, I mean, they were there a couple of weeks ago, back to back with OKC and the Spurs, and they should have won maybe one or maybe even two of those games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people, myself included, were starting to question how the Raptors are going to finish the season up, and maybe they just kind of fade into the 8th, 9th, 10th spot. But man, they have some life right now, and if Pirtle can stay healthy as well as the other guys, they seem to have something good starting to happen.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Paul, what's coming up on Hoop City on Saturday? It's going to be a wild weekend for you.
It's going to be a great weekend. We have such a good show. I'm just excited. Lisa Tomaitis, the head coach of the University of Saskatchewan Husky, back-to-back national champion winner, former Canadian national team coach, former German national team coach. She's going to be on. Lisa's going to come on, and Edmontonians had Lisa in our midst for many, many years when she was with the national team and they were training here. I've got Mike DeCourcy on from Sporting News. He's one of the pundits of NCAA basketball, March Madness. So Mike will be on. And then welcome back Ben Golliver, and we'll do the deep dive. We're going to talk about an article he just did on Caitlin Clark, WNBA finally getting a deal done. And then, of course, we'll get into what's going on in the NBA as well. So it's going to be a great show. And we will talk a lot about provincials as well.
Perfect. Will you have another poem written?
If you're lucky. If you're lucky. My anthology, I'm working on my anthology right now. So Byron Beware.
Oh, what? I'll tell you what, Paul. How about just a limerick? A limerick.
Just a limerick. Okay.
Not now, but
there once was a man named Kevin sent to us right from heaven. I'll start with that. So
I love it. Good stuff, Paul. Have a great show on Saturday. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
And Kevin, thank you for shining the light on the 5A provincials.
You betcha.
Your coverage over the decades of high school was so excellent, and it's underappreciated. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, thanks for the kind words. Thanks a lot. That's Paul Sir from Hoop City. You can catch him from 10 to 12 right here in Sports 1440. Man, you think about it. So he's got the 5A provincials to talk about. You'll be into day number 3 right when the show starts of March Madness, NBA. Oh, that's a dream weekend to have a show right smack dab in the middle, and you can hear it right here on Sports 1440 from 10 to 12. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. Mark Spector coming up at the top of the hour. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Mr. Reuter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Reuter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Reuter. Your name is Mr. Reuter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Reuter.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
If we win the $46,000 early bird, I'll be nicer.
Really?
Well, mostly.
All right, I'll take it.
You know what's nice? Tickets are only $30, and every ticket helps support kids through free mentorship and after-school programs. Don't miss out. The early bird deadline is March 19th at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
Sports 1440.
All sports,
all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
Welcome back to the big program, 747 in Edmonton. So glad you're with us here on a Thursday morning. Man, the week has gone fast. No Ladislav Schmid with us, unfortunately. For the next little while, Laddie zipped out to Czech to do some more coaching. He's gone for like a month. He'll be back in May, and then Laddie will, he'll have May and then June, basically to the end of the playoffs. And then he's heading overseas for 2 years to coach Sparta Prague. So we're going to miss him for sure here on Sports 1440. I know our listeners are sure going to miss him. And Laddie did so much work with the Edmonton Oil Kings. Hey, I should mention, we've got 3 sets of 4 tickets to give away for the Oil Kings finale, their regular season finale at home on Sunday afternoon against Calgary. Again, the Oil Kings beat Calgary last night 5-1. Caden Stroder had 3 goals. But we've got 3 sets of 4 tickets. When do you want to start the process on this, Duke? Should we have like a trivia, like who's the top point getter so far for
sure.
the Kings?
I like sure. that. And Sunday's it's obviously the conclusion of the regular season, but as you mentioned earlier, Kev, they're going to give away all the team awards,
individual
and stuff,
awards,
a lot of fun little festivities that go along with all the regular great in-house entertainment at Oil Kings games. So. Yeah, when do we want to start that? How about after in an hour?
Yeah,
like
sure.
In lead up to having Matt on at 9 at 8:40.
So when we do it at 8:40,
we'll drop our trivia question then.
Yeah,
and we'll get it figured out.
It's a tight race. They got a couple of great scorers. They have a very balanced team right now going into the playoffs. Like Prince Albert and Medicine Hat are at the top of the table in the Eastern Conference, but you just got to get into that. You're going to, after the first round gets down to the final 4, you're going to be facing one of those 2 teams. So they're well coached. They play hard. Junior hockey's, it's just like watching high school basketball. I mean, these players play so hard because the passion is there and they know that this could be maybe it's their last game in junior. Maybe it's their last game in high school basketball. You really want to give it your all. Brew Crew text in, KK and Paul, must hear radio. Great to have a radio show that talks about the local kids as well as the pros. It's appreciated. Thanks, Brew Crew. Appreciate that. Brad from the north side texts in 833-401-1440. I lived in Lethbridge for 4 years, about 25 years ago. Basketball is crazy down there in southern Alberta, and it is. The talent from the high schools is amazing. You are bang on. Jay and Victoria, our buddy Jay. Morning, guys. Leon's injury aside, I think this team now is better than the one that was in the playoffs last year. Am I too high on this team? Well, I think we have to figure out once you get there, Jay. I'll be honest. I don't think the team is as good at this stage right now as the teams that were going into the playoffs prior. And it's not, there's just other things that are coming into play here. And it might be a defenseman maybe on the back end that's a depth guy. Maybe you're looking at a Kulak where last year, you felt a little more comfortable with what they had. Connor Murphy's helped solidify that for sure. But they brought in Wallman similarly to help that last year. So I would say it's a little bit less than the two prior seasons for sure. Having said that, hey man, the Pacific is wide open. It's not like the Pacific of a couple of years ago when Vancouver was really good, when Vegas was really good. So the Pacific is wide open. Get to the Final Four and take it from there. But hey, that is a lot of work. A lot of things have to come into place and fall into place for that to happen. Hey, send us a text of what you think of tonight's game, how it's going to play out. 833-401-1440. Florida Panthers in town against the Edmonton Oilers. Similar records win-wise. Oilers have one more win than the Panthers, but a few more overtime losses and things like that. They got 9. I think the Panthers have 3. So what do you think is going to happen tonight? Will there be a few fireworks? Is there going to be, a little calmer demeanor because Florida's out of the playoffs? Do the Oilers go, man, this is the team that beat us the last 2 years? Will you see a little bit maybe on the bottom 6 going head to head? The bottom 6 of Florida's, it's not what it once was. AJ Greer, yes, he can handle himself. After that, there's not a whole hell of a lot there as far as toughness and grit and things like that because of injuries and such. They don't have as much as they had in years past. For sure. And again, when we talked about it, that third line of Florida's last year was one of the main reasons that they ended up winning the Stanley Cup final. When you think of how Luostarinen, how Lundell, and how Brad Marchand came together as a third line. But now they don't have that type of grittiness. They don't have that type of sandpaper on the bottom 6 as they had last year. It's just non-existent. Blair sends in his text. Sometimes you can read them, sometimes you can't. One of the times you can't read them today, Blair, it's today. How about if the Jets win tonight, Blair? Are they back in it? I know you just want to see me fail on this prediction of the Winnipeg Jets when they were in last place in the West, Blair. Last place. And now they are sniffing around a playoff spot. I think they're in Boston tonight. They have to do some damage on this road trip. 833-401-1440. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. We'll have a little more open time at 8:40. And again, we'll give away 3 sets of 4 tickets to Sunday's regular season finale, Oil Kings in Calgary. We'll have Matt Barrett coming up at 9 bells, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play, man. And not a bad hockey player, Duke. Not a bad hockey player. Matt Barrett.
Did Matt get out at an alumni skate?
He's been out a few times.
You saw him get the wheels on?
Well, one time he was bitching at me that he had to play defense or something like that. He's like, I think he was playing forward. I don't want to play forward. I said, well, don't look at me. You're on the other team for one thing. No, he's a good guy. So David Dwork will check in at 9:20. Plus Zach Lang at 10:20. And going to be good to catch up with an old buddy, Brian Benning, at 10 o'clock. His son, Mike Benning, called up. Has played 3 games for the Florida Panthers, making his debut coming up from Charlotte. So we'll talk to Benji at 10 bells. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
In the NHL last night, the Devils doubled up on the Rangers 6-3. Sid Crosby scored in his return for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They fall to the Hurricanes 6-5 in overtime. Cole Hudson gets his first NHL point as the Capitals beat the Senators 4-1. Stars over the Avalanche 2-1 in a shootout. Flames get past the Blues. Same score, same result. Shootout action there. And the Flyers hold off the Ducks' comeback for a 3-2 overtime victory. From Long Island, New York signing top prospect Cole Eisman to a 3-year entry-level contract following 2 seasons at Boston University. Edmonton Oil Kings pick up a win last night from Rogers Place 5-1 over the Calgary Hitmen. And in the PWHL, Minnesota shut out Ottawa 5-0, and the Sirens fall to Vancouver 5-2. In the association, the Raptors pick up a second straight win, 139-109 winners over the Bulls in Chicago. RJ Barrett leading the way with 23 points. Elsewhere, around the NBA, OKC beat Brooklyn 121-92. The Celtics get past Golden State 120-99. And the Lakers, they beat Houston 124-116. Last 2 games of the first 4 ahead of today's tip-off of March Madness. Miami of Ohio upsets SMU 89-79, and a low-scoring one. Prairie View A&M defeated Lehigh 67-55. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Oil Kings hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Hi, I'm Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
The wait is over. CTV Sunday. Television's most captivating love story continues as Sullivan's Crossing returns. And as a new season begins, the road ahead takes an unexpected turn.
Would have thought you'd mentioned being married before.
A lot's changed since then.
Morgan Cohan and Chad Michael Murray in the drama that asks, is true love enough? A new season of Sullivan's Crossing starts Sunday at 8 exclusively on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. Hi, it's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8 bells in Edmonton. Hour number 2 of the Kevin Karius Show here on a Thursday. So glad you're with us for the next couple hours to talk a little sports, little Oilers with their game tonight against the Florida Panthers, which means 8 o'clock time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. You know what? March Madness is on. And before you do anything, stop in and see the great folks at Northgate and see their brand new Autoplex. It's a massive, massive indoor sales room only at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Good. Hey, you got to come in our March Madness pool here at Sports 1440. You have to.
Oh, sure. How much it cost me?
It's $10. Goes to Ben Stelter Foundation.
I think I can afford that.
Well, I know you can.
Even as a guy that works in radio.
Listen, if I had your money, I'd burn mine.
Quit stealing Tiger Gold Sticks old lines, buddy. If this show was on in my backyard, I'd draw the drapes.
Yeah, I would pull the drapes. Yeah, I would pull the drapes. That's his best one ever, I would think, huh?
Well, we could tell on the radio anyway.
Fair. That's fair too. But yes, you have to come in at Spec. It takes you 2 minutes to fill out.
Sure.
Duke will send you.
What do we do? We got to go. Can we do it online? Or go to the mall? What's
all online. Duke. Yeah. Okay. Duke is going to fax you the bracket, Spec.
Fax it. Semaphore. I prefer it in semaphore.
Yeah. He'll mail it to you. So anyway, he'll send you an email, and then you can fill it out. It takes you it'll take you less than 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, like how long does it take to be eliminated after the first round?
Well, unless you're going to pick a whole bunch of upsets, it probably. I mean, the upsets have been fewer and fewer. It seems year to year.
Don't they say that like something over 80% of the brackets are no good after the first round or the first set of games are played or something?
Fair, but I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a perfect bracket.
I don't know.
History of brackets. I don't know if there has.
I mean, whatever. What do we got? Is it 64 teams plus a 4-team play-in? So there's actually like 68, or in a bracket is there only 64?
Just 64. They don't count those ones. The play-in games, they don't count in the bracket. They don't put them in there. But so now we're down to 32 games in round one, and all those games will go this weekend. And
good. Duke just sent me the bracket. Why don't I do it while we're talking?
Oh, geez. You got enough problems, Skip. You got enough problems with everything else here. But I want to see. I know you'll be like everyone. You'll probably take Duke to win. And
I don't know, man. I know nothing about NCAA basketball other than this is the time of year I like to watch it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
And the other thing, too, on games like today is going to be a little different. You'll be down at the rink. But say tomorrow is an opportunity. Maybe there's no skate or whatever, but the games are on at 10:30 in the morning. You can just,
Yeah, no, for sure. This is the time of year I've written on many a game day column or an off day column sitting there with NCAA ball in the background this time of year for sure. And there's always, what's the horse race we always watch? Is it
Kentucky Derby?
I think it's the Derby that always comes. It seems like it's on a playoff game every single year. Like I'm hanging around my hotel room trying to wait for the end of it, and then I go to the rink. Indianapolis 500 is always in the middle of playoffs.
Yeah, first weekend in my life. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna have Brian Benning on later in the show. His son Michael called up. Yeah, but son Michael called up last week. He'll be playing tonight.
Yeah,
for Florida. So. He's pretty.
I assume that the Bennings would have been in Vancouver the other night watching that game. Maddie and I were wondering that in the press box. So
I don't know about that, but I do know that they went to Columbus for the first game.
Okay. Well, as a guy with a boat and a quad and a this and a that and a truck and I got about 6 batteries in my garage at the lake out here, all bought from Brian Benning's place. So
Interstate, yeah.
Interstate, and you know what? They're good batteries. So there's your free plug, Benji. If you're looking for batteries, go see Brian Benning at Interstate.
Yeah, I think he might have sold that store.
Really?
I think he might have, yeah.
Okay, well.
He's got enough things. As he said to me last night, he goes, you know what? They had to pick the call up for his call up. They had to pick Columbus, almost the furthest, toughest flight to get to from Edmonton.
Yeah, right.
For him and Caroline to go to.
Yeah, well, welcome to a sports writer's life, buddy.
Yeah. Al, yeah, no kidding. But anyway,
hey, so I'm on Calgary radio yesterday, and they get to talking about Evan Bouchard and why he's, is he in the Norris conversation? Should he be? How's he playing? What's he doing? And I came up with some stats. So to me, Kev, let's talk about this. The people that complain about Bouchard's play and what kept him off the team and whether he should be a Norris guy, they're all talking about and they're all affected by his October and November play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the stats are, since December 1st, he's been the most productive, as good a defenseman as there's been in the league, maybe the best one. So I want to ask you this. Bouchard's played 45 playoff games the last 2 years, okay? He's got 55 points, but he's played 45 playoff games 2 years. And he's playing, 25 minutes a night almost in most of them.
Mm-hmm.
The guys he's up against, like we're judging Bouchard here on how he comes out of the gates after playing 24 playoff games a year. The guys that we're judging him against, Quinn Hughes has played 13 playoff games in the last 2 years, okay? Mm-hmm. Zach Werenski, you know how many playoff games he's played in the last 2 years?
0.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah.
So these guys, Cale Makar has played 18, right? The number between Bouchard and the rest of the field here is 45 to 31 in playoff games played. So my point is, don't judge Evan Bouchard on how he played in October and November, right? I mean, the guy's coming off a short summer every year. He's busted it all spring. All the other guys are fresh as a daisy when the season starts. So to me, that's something that's got to be out there. I don't think it's fair to judge Zach Werenski's first 2 months against Evan Bouchard's. You're damn right Zach Werenski should be better, right? He's been golfing since April 15th.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with anything you say, but you know how the voting works, and you know how the bias of how things on the internet work. And if you say something and you put something out there and it creates a snowball effect, and that's what's happened to Evan Bouchard, because all these Eastern writers, and what's the name of that stats guy, the big guy, Kelly? What's his first name? Spec? What's
Kelly?
it? Mike Kelly? Mike Kelly.
Yeah.
So, and I think you talked to him about this, and you were talking about certain things that he would put out there. And you said, listen, my eyes are on the game. Yours are not. You're looking at stats and you're putting this out. That's just one little perspective here. But what happens again, they see all the bad stuff, Spec, and then that snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. All the Eastern panels, none of them would have Bouchard in their top 3. Not one of them.
Yep. Yeah.
But all the Western guys would.
Well, more of them. I mean, the first of all, there's East-West thing because our games start late. The Oilers, to me, don't fall under that. The Oilers aren't the San Jose Sharks where the games start that late. Mm-hmm. And the Oilers are appointment viewing. If you're a hockey writer, and especially one that's voting on the trophies, don't tell me that you never watch the Oilers play. They got McDavid and Draisaitl. If you're not watching the Oilers play, then get out of the business, right? I don't care what city you live in. So that's the first thing. And the next thing is for Bouchard. And listen, mea culpa. No one covered his mistakes and noted them and was probably fairly harsh on them in October, November than I. I haven't met those games. I remember that Islanders game. He was awful, and I wrote
Ranger game.
No, Islander game. It was in the Islanders and the Ranger game too, sure.
The one here.
But the point is, since December 1st, we've also been writing about what a fantastic player he's been, and now it's pretty clear he's having an unbelievable season.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. You could write, you could tell everyone that he's Bobby Orr, and they won't believe you.
Well, I mean, I think you got to do a little work at it for one. I think what affects him too, Kevin, is, he makes some really nice plays and they don't make the highlight kicks in as McDavid's taking the pass and doing his thing.
Yeah, first passes.
The first pass doesn't sometimes make the highlights, but when he does make a mistake and it ends up in his net, and Makar does it, and Werenski does it, and Quinn Hughes does it sometimes, that's the focal highlight. They make sure that the highlight of that goal includes the play Bouchard made. So I'm not saying they're biased against them. I'm just saying that is a narrative. It's like, oh, here's Bouchard making a mistake. Well, you know what? I watch Makar play. He coughs pucks up too because he's on the ice 25 minutes a night.
Sure he does. And Connor coughs pucks up. Leon coughs pucks up.
Oh boy, you bet.
Nathan McKinnon coughs a ton of pucks up. Like what people end up, they want to have a perfect player spec. And that's what we've come down to. And if you make one bad mistake, it outweighs what you do positively. And that's the society we live in.
Maybe, for sure. Yeah, that's fair. I know that I get a lot more credit on Twitter for when I screw up than when I write something good. That's a fact.
So, as I said, like as the season's progressed, I had Bouchard at 4. Now I have him at 3. Like I have him as a finalist for the Norris Trophy. Where the voting goes, has nothing to do with me. So, but I have him as a Norris Trophy finalist, and I think that is very fair.
Yeah, to me, any guy that's having this season and having this, you can't, as a voter, and I voted many, many, many times. You don't, in my books, and everyone's different, but in my books, you don't win the Norris just on points. It's not who has the most points, but that's a major factor. You win that category, that's a big category. There's other categories you got to win too if you're going to win the Norris. Now, Erik Karlsson's got a couple Norrises, and I'm not sure that he was ever, I don't think he was ever as good defensively as Bouchard is. So
probably not. No.
Who knows? What do we got tonight? We got Florida.
You got that right. What do you think? Is it going to be like I thought earlier? Like I was a little, I don't know, after the Olympics with things that had happened there, I was a little hot under the collar, and I thought tonight would be more of a rougher, tougher type of game. Now I think it'll be a little less spec because Florida's out of it. Obviously, they got nothing to play for except for pride. Oilers need these 2 points more so than anything else. So.
Yeah, I would think the conversation in the Oilers room is let's just, if this game sticks to hockey and there's not, if Matt Tkachuk, if we're not talking about him after the game, if he's not got the whole Oilers bench trying to kill him, that's not what the Oilers need tonight, right? As of today, I'm the first guy to tell you, Florida won those last 2 series against Edmonton fair and square. They were the better team. But today, Edmonton is a better team. Florida's out of the playoffs. They don't have emotionally, they're done. They don't have Barkov. They got a bunch of guys hurt. Edmonton's a better team right now. There's no getting around it. So play hockey. Tonight is not a night to try to kill Matt Tkachuk, as much as all our listeners would love to see that happen. Tonight's the night to play hockey and get your 2 points and get out of Dodge.
That's where I agree completely with you, Spec. Yeah, the 2 points is so big. And again, Anaheim gets a point last night, so this is a chance for the Oilers to keep pressing, and some teams have some games in hand on them, but they've got an opportunity here, and especially with Tampa coming in on Saturday. This is you got a chance to have a really good homestand here with Tampa on Saturday. But
if you win tonight, you got the 6 out of 8 points already, and you haven't even played the last game yet. So that is they're playing good hockey. Like to me, watching them string some version of the same game together now for most of about 8 or 9, 10 games. That's something we haven't seen. Just haven't seen it this year. And with that might come a 4-game winning streak one day. But until you start rolling the same game out, you got no chance of winning a bunch in a row. And
let's get to 3 for the second time.
Let's get to 3 for the second time. But my point is, you're never getting anywhere if it's a new game every day. If it's so.
Is there something you want to see tonight specifically? For me, I was thinking I want to see Adam Henrique have a second really good game. That's what I wanted to see tonight.
Yeah, to me, like I think the metaphor for this whole thing is, and tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like those series were so close with Florida, and in the end, maybe Florida wins just because they somehow had a better team. They were better. They were more of a team. And I thought that effort the other night for Edmonton against San Jose. When you get a fourth line playing well, Dickinson, I guess that's the second line now. I'm not even sure. I think they had everything. They had contributions from all their lines. Everybody got ice time. Everybody had an effect in the game. That's as good a team effort by the Oilers as we've seen. So you say you want to see Henrique's line have a great game. Sure. I just want to see, once again, I want to see it. I want to see four lines having an impact in the game. We haven't seen enough of that in Edmonton, and I kind of always like it when we do.
Well, Spec, as always, excellent stuff. We'll see you down at the rink later today.
Yeah, I'm going to skate this morning.
Yeah, we got an alumni skate after, so.
Talk to the boys. Okay, we'll see you there.
Ryan Benning's going to come out for a skate, I heard.
Oh, is he?
Not a chance. Not a chance, man. Hey?
He's done.
He's done. He's all done. Done.
Probably burn that gear. Hey, listen, if I played as much hockey as those guys in my life, I'd burn mine too.
Yeah. Benji just needs to worry about getting in the tractor and the combine. That's all he needs to worry about.
I know. He turned into a total farmer, eh?
Is he ever? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't grow garlic though, Spec. Can't grow garlic.
That's a topic for another day when I'm not here.
All right. Now we'll see you down in a couple hours or so. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. What are you guys laughing at? Spec or me?
No, Spec.
What do you do?
So
I know
we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
How Josh has this little internal game where he tries to remove Spec from the link. It's the same as if I would put someone on call on hold right before they just hang up the phone. Spec wasn't even done his own sentence yet today before he'd closed the browser, and Josh just turns and looks at me with this bewildered stare on his face. That's pretty funny. That's good. Listen, a little behind the curtain type stuff. No one else cares or finds it funny, but we do. So
anyway, powered by Northgate Chevrolet. This truck's for you. Check them out at northgategm.com. When we come back, Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV on the Kevin Karius Show, presented by Sports Select with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Finnemek on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our number one selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep and giving 110% day in and day out. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Frank. How are you this fine Thursday morning?
Pretty good. How you doing, Kevin?
Well, I didn't wear a colorful shirt for you today,
Yeah,
Frank.
thank God. You look like a normal civilian today.
You know what? I wanted to just kind of dress down to all of our other guests. That's what I was trying to do. That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Is that something you might be interested in or what?
I don't know. You just increased your quotient to get laid by 400%.
Well, I don't think I have to worry about that, Frank.
Keep wearing stuff like that.
No
She'll be
way.
running.
A lot of great comments on those shirts, Frank. Hey, the GM meetings wrapped up in a little bit of kind of, I don't think it's controversy, but it's funny when people start talking about a guy like your buddy, Eric Tulsky, that he's a buddy of yours.
Why is he a buddy of mine?
I can just tell, Frank. I know when you have guys on, and I know that there's a different relationship between some guys and different guys.
Be careful.
Okay. He's not a buddy of yours?
I'd say he's a subject that I cover.
Okay.
I don't have friends that I cover.
Aren't we buddies?
We're buddies, but I don't cover you. We talk twice a week on radio.
Anyway, the name hasn't been, I guess, confirmed, but Tulsky and Bettman had a little tete-a-tete. Nothing to this in your mind, I would assume?
Honestly, I was really disappointed to hear that come out. And yeah, that is confirmed. And the reason why I'm disappointed is because at every GM meeting, pretty much for the most part, there's a lot of backroom chatter that happens, honestly, right at the beach bar in the hours after it wraps. And people, from all walks that are in the room end up spouting off about one thing or another that happened. And whether it was so-and-so who had 3 crazy ideas today or so-and-so who went back at so-and-so, there's always some kind of chatter. What's disappointing to me is that as nearly as far as I can remember, for the most part, we don't reveal those names and what was said and what happened out of respect, because this is a place in a private meeting where they're doing their business. And the point would be to pass along the content, not so much who the back and forth was with.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
And I feel like in this case, that trust was violated by veteran general managers who don't like the cut of Eric Tulsky's jib. He's a different guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is, I'll say it this way. I think that's weak.
Well, I'm with you there, Frank. I think, and we've been around long enough that when you have conversations that are supposed to be in confidence, they remain in confidence. And that can be just a conversation, or it could be at a meeting. It could be anything. When you go out the door and start blabbing your mouth about what happened behind closed doors, you are frowned upon within the organization, whatever that organization could be. And at the highest levels of any, you can face repercussions on that.
Well, let's particular was relayed that Eric Tulsky brings up the notion that both the standard of headshots has been slipping and the way goaltender interference has been adjudged has also been slipping. By the way, I think he's factually accurate on both those things, and I give him credit for being willing to speak up, particularly as one of the newer or younger general managers in the room. But then think about the way that information has now been passed along. Everyone needed to get in their reporting and blow by blow that Gary Bettman snapped back and said, sounds like something that your owner is asking you to bring up on his behalf. Well, okay. Don't we all have bosses?
Mm-hmm.
And second, is it not fair to bring up in general? Because if you can't bring it up in a meeting such as that, when do you talk about these things? And third, that information is only relayed as a way to embarrass him and further discredit him. And I think that goes back to the first part of what I was saying about how this is a really disappointing result and outcome, because had this been one of the big dog veteran GMs, a Doug Armstrong or a Bill Guerin or someone else, I'm just telling you that no one would have dared run to the media and said what happened in that meeting.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, because there would have been repercussions on that, I think.
Whoever was talking would have gotten a talking to.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how that would have worked. But because it's Eric Tulsky, let's try and bully the guy.
Mm-hmm. Frank Saravalli with us in Sports 1440. You mentioned Billy Guerin, so he was talking about, again, he's not happy with how the playoffs are and because of where his team is. But Gary Bettman says, no, it's fine the way it is.
Well, there was one part that Gary Bettman mentioned in his defense of the playoff format that I hadn't really considered. And that is that the first round is going longer. Series are going deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't really ever considered the business aspect of that first round magic before. Maybe I should have. Maybe I'm just slow to the draw, and I fully recognize that. But it's not just the interest that is key, and it's not just the eyeballs on the first round, because I do think that the first round in the Stanley Cup playoffs is as good as March Madness, is as good as any product that there is in sports. That's a reason why I don't have an issue with the playoff format.
Yeah.
But I just think Bill Guerin is the latest in a long line of general managers who have been in a similar spot. Like, everything is parochial. Like, I don't know how much time Bill Guerin spent politicking against this playoff format in years prior to this one. Probably not many, but since his team is in this spot, now he's got an issue. So I would just say I understand the complaint, but whether you have to face Dallas in the first round or second, or Colorado in the second or third, I don't really understand what kind of difference it makes.
I get his point too. I don't have a problem with the format. I never have. And I really, the rivalries that have happened because of how the old divisions were, and they had the rivalries before back in the 80s. I enjoyed that more than when they went away from it, Frank, because there was nothing there. And then again, the first rounds were blah. They were blah. There was nothing there.
Right. And so what everyone has been advocating is, let's just go back to the 1-8. But even in the 1-8, you still need to reward the division winner. The division winner has always been rewarded. It's rewarded in all of sports. And I got into this with someone on social media last week who said how insane it is that the Anaheim Ducks would be hosting the Utah Mammoth. Well, as it turns out, the Anaheim Ducks have a better record and points percentage today than the Utah Mammoth. So let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Mm-hmm.
But theoretically, the Anaheim Ducks leading the Pacific today, and only by a scant point over the Edmonton Oilers, they should be seeded second. And not for nothing, but today, the Minnesota Wild would be getting the Mammoth, certainly an easier matchup than the Dallas Stars in round one. But as of yesterday or 2 days ago, 3-6 was Minnesota Edmonton. So be careful what you wish for, because I don't know that Minnesota is a slam dunk to get past Edmonton in round one if they were to meet. It's really not as big of a gulf as it may seem. And points wise, you might say yes, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. Frank Saravalli with us. I'll be honest, Frank, I was disappointed with Jack Hughes saying he wanted that puck that went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. He stepped back yesterday. He said, well, da. But I'll be honest with you, I was disappointed that he said he wanted to get that puck away from the Hockey Hall of Fame.
This makes for boring radio because I agree with you. I thought his reaction was childish.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very me, give me the puck, my puck, I own this puck. The game is so much bigger than you. And the Hockey Hall of Fame, regardless of where it resides, is, if it's in Canada or in the US, it's a lot bigger than that. So I think a memento like that, for how significant the moment is, I truly believe it belongs in the Hockey Hall of Fame. It belongs to be seen, deserves to be seen and preserved. And for all the other things that Jack Hughes or his family accumulated over that stretch at the Olympics, game-worn jerseys, sticks, skates, whatever it is that you want, you have access to all of it. The puck was delivered by the IOC, property of the IIHF, and they handed it off in custody to the Hockey Hall of Fame, which is agnostic of federation or jersey. And I think that's where it belongs.
Mm-hmm. The only thing if he would have said something like, is there a chance that this puck could go to the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame? I'd probably be okay with that, Frank, for sure.
Yeah, but no one ever goes to the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame in Eveleth, Minnesota.
You've never been there?
Nope. Have
Why
you?
Not? No, I haven't, but been to Minnesota dozens of times.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in Eveleth, Minnesota. I have not. I'd like to go someday. But I mean, that's kind of the point, is that he wasn't asking for that. He was asking for himself. And I just felt like that's what made it a little bit childish.
Who do you think is going to be GMs for Canada and the U.S. moving forward here on the international scene?
Good question. Bill Guerin did a story about his stress level, and I'm sure there's a ton that goes into it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he took on a more Doug Armstrong-like role, which was him sort of oversee the 2028 World Cup, have someone else do the heavy lifting. If you remember, Don Sweeney was the GM of the Four Nations Face-Off. Have a different management group sort of do that process 2 years from now, and then take over again in 4 years' time for the 2030 Olympics. With regards to Canada, I think there's lots of really qualified candidates, of course. I don't really know who stands out to me yet. A lot of people have mentioned Kyle Dubas. I think any talk, and not, this is not to slag anyone, but any talk about Kyle Dubas as GM of the year to me is like absolutely insane. This guy didn't even get the evaluation of his own team right this season. He thought they were the 32nd place finisher and didn't add in the summer. And they've gone on this magical run with their vets being their best players and Dan Muse doing a great job coaching. He didn't see this coming. To sit back now and say he put these pieces in place so that they could be a playoff team is like, I don't even understand what kind of magical stuff you'd need to be on in order to see it that way.
Would Jim Nill want this job, do you think, at this stage of his career? And then I also throw, like, for me, it's Bill Zito all the way for the States.
My guess would be probably not on Jim Nill. He has been operating, to my understanding, on a year-to-year contract basis with the Dallas Stars. He loves what he does. I think his question is, how long do I want to do it? And to sign up for 2028 or 2030 is probably a little bit of a stretch, just a guess.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Zito would be a great choice. I think there's a lot of good choices.
Yeah. Who else for after Zito? Would you have someone like Fitzgerald? I don't know, or
probably not. And I'd be curious to see if Tom Fitzgerald continues as Devils general manager when the season is over. Zito stands out for his aggression and his ability to get a deal done.
Yeah.
Whether it's not just like trading for Brad Marchand, but it's reimagining his salary cap to be able to keep all those players after winning the cup. That deal making ability stands out, and that vision. So I think he'd probably be the front runner if it's not Bill Guerin. But I wonder what the feeling is like when you're in that spot as GM. You accomplish this thing that no one has done in 46 years. Do you just say it can't get any better than this, and I'm going to ride off into the sunset?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do.
I saw Frank, you had Big Bad Bobby on, and you're talking about Big Boosh. Are you? Do you have him in your top 3 for Norris, Evan Bouchard?
I would say right now I have him 4.
See, you're just another guy, Frank, that's not seeing the light here.
But that's the point of voting. If we all saw it the same, why would we need to vote?
So you have Makar, Werenski, and Hughes ahead of him.
In some order like that, yes.
So okay. I have Werenski first, and then I have Hughes and Bouchard, and then I have Makar 4.
Okay, I could see that. I could swap Bouchard and Makar depending on how this rolls out.
Mm-hmm.
I think what was so fascinating to me about that clip is sort of how viral the opposition is to it. People quoting his giveaway stats, people quoting the first month of the season, people showing, I'd call them low light clips of the turnovers and mistakes that he makes.
Mm-hmm.
But like none of it mentions some of the stuff that Bob did about the tear that he's been on over the last 50 some games.
It's amazing.
I mean, how do you discount that? Like, don't the first 3 weeks of the season get thrown out when the balance of the rest of it supersedes it?
I think it's a whole season you look at, and again, people just look at all the crap that he does. They don't look at all the good stuff, Frank.
But that's the point that I made with Bob on Frankly Hockey yesterday, is that people in the East, particularly who don't stay up late to watch games or don't watch the Oilers in general, what they get tuned into the next day, if there's like a fantastic Evan Bouchard mistake, is they just see that 13-second clip going around on X. They say, oh, this guy stinks. There's no way you can win with this guy. He's not in the conversation for anything.
Yeah. And
they don't appreciate any of the other things that he brings to the game, and they form their opinion just based on that.
Frank, great stuff. We'll catch you Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Anything special on the go?
Nothing.
Just
getting through minor hockey tryouts for next season, please.
Come on, really?
Please shoot me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. As long as you're wearing that shirt, not in the others, I'll gladly take it.
And this is Jimmy Buffett, baby. I got her at Margaritaville in Palm Springs, I think.
Attaboy.
Thanks, Frank.
See you later.
Frank Saravalli, Victory Plus TV, and our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, your top defense pairing against leaks. That's mrrooter.ca. That's always good to talk to Frank, see some things eye to eye, see some things not eye to eye.
Yeah, the conversation started off very much you guys on the same page, but it turned towards the end, which I'm here for it all the time.
Sure.
I love hearing your guys' conversations.
I was wondering, I wasn't sure where he was going to go on the Jack Hughes thing.
So it's kind of funny, right? Because Connor and I talked about it on Fantasy Frenzy yesterday, and him and I were essentially in lockstep with what you and Frank said. And to be honest, Kev, I kind of said the exact same thing about if he were to say the United States Hockey Hall of Fame, even as Frank alluded to, it does not have the same draw or grandeur or lure as of course what's in Toronto, I would have a much easier time accepting that as a hockey fan. But it's kind of funny because I'm not sure I've seen anybody legitimately say that they agree with what Jack Hughes said.
No.
From either side of this coin, America, Canada, beyond, whatever. Everybody's kind of in the same boat where it's like, dude, seriously? Like this is a historic moment for the game of hockey. Why do you want it in your dressing room on the mantle?
Yeah. I always laugh about Pat Stapleton. You guys won't know who that name is, or do you, Duke?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Pat Stapleton was on the Summit Series 72 Team Canada. Anyway, he apparently has the puck that Paul Henderson scores.
Really?
He had, he had it. And then everyone says, well, where is it? And he said, well, it's at the farm in wherever in Ontario in a pail with like 100 other pucks.
No way.
Oh, yeah. You can go back, Duke. He goes, well, which one is it? He goes, well, how the hell do I know? They all, there's 100. This is a story from years and years. Gary Meyer would have that one bang on. So it's kind of a funny story. Hey, when we come back, we're going to give away some tickets to the Edmonton Oil Kings regular season finale. We'll get to some of your texts at 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Why pay dealership prices when you can get the same quality for less? Hi, it's Lisa, and here at Ed's Auto Salvage, we've been Alberta's trusted source for used auto parts for nearly 50 years. From engines to mirrors, transmissions to tires, we've got it all at prices guaranteed to keep your wallet happy. Shop local, shop smart. Shop Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Be sure to visit us online at edsautosalvage.com and get your vehicle back on the road for less.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. You can do the QR code or the paper selection slips. Just go to your Lotto Spot retailer. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. The Duke has just alerted me that longtime buddy, hardworking Kevin Moser, former three-time MVP of Triprov, Move Water, captain, aficionado, head honcho there. I think he's second in charge. I can't remember now, but they used to sponsor our show a couple of years ago. Duke, he has entered the NCAA, our March Madness bracket here at Sports 1440. We got another hour and a half or so, Duke, right? So if you still want to get a bracket in,
it's last chance. Get them in. Get them in. We'll get them on, as you like to say on Playlist Friday, Kevin. Just to time that in, I don't know if people were aware, because we often, as Canadians, and the staple that it's been around for so long with Sports Select, and we just kind of think of it for hockey, right? Like it's the with the pro line and stuff. All the March Madness games are on Sports Select.
Yes.
So you could get yourself a fun little ticket, head down to your local Lotto spot and scan the QR code. If
this afternoon, this morning,
Karius, you wouldn't have time to do the paper transaction because you'd want every game today.
Well,
it would take you too long.
I'm going to tell you what, Duke. Years ago, and I mean, you know this too, because you used to go and stand at the kiosk.
Oh, for sure.
At Sports Select. But here's the thing. Back then, they would give you the games on the paper, right? Like the ticket thing. But now when they have the great big, the board there, at every kiosk.
Like the digital.
The whole, like it's, the reverse television screen technically,
yes.
Right? So now it's so much easier to navigate that. And before, like a guy, if you didn't have your glasses on, there's no way you could see all the little, Oh, I'm telling you, Duke, come on now.
Yeah, I can't say I have. I obviously see the big screens and stuff, but I just do it all on my phone. I'm a QR code guy now with Sports Select. So I just scan or fill out my ticket, head and scan it, and then it prints it for me, and I'm watch my games and then go in and cash it in the next day.
See
when Connor and I go on our mall walks.
You know what happens? Laura does them for me, Duke, for NFL on the QR code.
Oh yeah, like you just tell her, then she
emails me that, and then I go and give the phone to the clerk.
Oh my goodness,
that's how bad it is.
Kev, why? Like you could just make this such a simpler process. You can eliminate 3 steps.
It makes her feel part of the process, Duke.
All right.
How about Triple C in a truck? He says, hardworking Kevin Moser was a legend at Harry Ainley when I was there.
Well, I think we've talked about, because he came on, right? I want to say he came in to talk about his, and it might have just been like he was in the mall one day and popped by to say hi to you, and we had him on just for a few minutes to chat about his exploits. His, like, what did you say, 3-time Triprov MVP?
Yeah. So the one time, and I'm going to tell it, I don't care. I'll leave a few things out, but they had a throwaway game in the first draw because they were that good. And Moser went out and with his non-basketball buddies, they were in the parking lot having a couple of pops. And he went out on the floor and things got a little dizzy for him, apparently. And the Edmonton Journal snapped a picture of him, put it on the front page of the Sports with a towel over his head. And it said the caption was, hardworking Kevin Moser pours in 30 points before taking a quick break on the bench in the Harry Ainley Titans' first win at Triprov.
Yes, I remember you telling that story like back. Yeah, it had to be first year on air, obviously, and maybe he was here for it, maybe not. But it's an all-timer. It's so funny. Hardworking Kevin Moser.
Montana to Rice. What are your national championship teams? The winners, Duke and KK. Well, I already mentioned mine. Duke hasn't mentioned his. If you want to do, I don't know if your bracket's in, Duke.
Oh yeah, it's done. I made one final tweak this morning. Was doing some final research and listening, and then after your chat with Paul, I went back and reviewed it one final time. I'm running it back with Florida. I know they kind of come across as the weakest of the number 1 seeds, and I've got a question sort of related to this in or out here coming up in about an hour. But 2 weeks ago, the way Florida was playing, everybody says like, "Oh, these guys, they could do it. They go back to back. They're as good as anyone else in the country." And then they get blown out by Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament, and now everybody thinks they suck. So I'm kind of trying to maybe thread that needle a little bit, where I still think they're a really good team. their path through seems like a relatively easy one, maybe until they hit Houston out of the region, which will certainly be a tough test. But yeah, I don't know. It's like championship pedigree. They brought a couple. There's quite a few guys back. So I'm running it back with the Gators.
Well, I know MTR's not going with Florida.
No, he's a Duke guy.
Yeah, for sure he is.
For sure he is.
Well, he takes the easiest one. Like, I mean, come on. Hey, let's give away some tickets.
Let's do it.
Duke, to the Edmonton Oil Kings regular season finale Sunday afternoon. We've got 3 packs of 4 tickets, so a dozen to give away to 3 lucky winners. You can take 3 of your friends. You can give 4 away, whatever you like.
Great one for the family. It's a 4 o'clock puck drop on Sunday afternoon, so it's not too late. You get all the pregame festivities with the team awards, obviously all the great food and drink combos that they have down at Rogers for Oil Kings games. So great way to round out what's supposed to be kind of the first unofficial weekend of spring. Or I guess it's the official weekend of spring, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow or Saturday is the first day of spring. So we'll have 4 tickets each in 3 sets.
Packs,
so if you want the tickets, if you can use the tickets, that's important here.
Yeah.
Don't message in to prove how smart you are. We'll put just message in with the leading point getter for the Oil Kings.
Top scorer right now.
The top scorer for the Oil Kings this season. And we'll put your name in the hat, and we'll draw out 3 winners, 4 tickets for each winner here coming up through the course of the rest of the show.
833-401-1440. Yeah, if you want to go Sunday afternoon, we'll announce 3 winners of 4 tickets each. Oil Kings and the Calgary Hitmen, 4 o'clock puck drop. And again, all the awards, as Duke just mentioned, that'll be exciting to have that recognition. They do this at the finale of every regular season home game. It's been a tougher couple of years for the Oil Kings. There's no denying that. That's junior hockey. It's cyclical. It's the way it is. But right now, the Oil Kings, they're poised to make a run here. They're just as good as the top 2 teams in the East, in Prince Albert and Medicine Hat. I think, it might be a different story when you look at out west with Everett, because Steve Hamilton has that team playing. I think are they on an 11 straight winning streak? I think something like that. They're just unreal. So kudos to Steve Hamilton, the former Edmonton Oil King head coach. So, get him in 833-401-1440. We'll probably announce those at the end of Matt Barrett's interview at the top of the hour. So, get him in and we'll get him on. MTR says he switched to Purdue Duke.
After he said I had picked Duke, and he's like, I might switch. Purdue's a pretty sneaky one, but they're kind of the opposite of what I just said about Florida, where Purdue is they came on really good in the Big Ten tournament, but before that all year it was kind of like, what are the trains this year?
Yeah.
But it's a good pick. I like Purdue for sure.
Tim has texted in, as a family with 2 young kids, he would definitely use the tickets. Cheers, fellas.
And he's got the right answer.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. That's right. He does. Yeah. He says also that puck story of Henderson's goal being in a bucket on a farm is hilarious. So there is a possibility that the puck was, but again, from Pat Stapleton's perspective, he may have given it to the Hall of Fame,
but he just can't remember.
But he would go, it could be any puck.
It could be any puck. Well, how about this one? Adam says they should just hang that whole pail of pucks in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just like you come around a corner from whatever great spectacle, and it's like the 72 Summit Series display. And then here, one of these 30 pucks was the puck that Paul Henderson scored the game series winning goal with. It's like, what?
Exactly.
Staggers whoever's looking at it.
Yeah. And I was telling you guys, I have a bit of a conundrum. We have to have our 3 keepers for our Saskatoon Fantasy Baseball League in.
Draft's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday. I'll be leaving tomorrow, Duke. I'll leave after the show at whatever time.
I can just really, obviously all this talk about how much time you take off has gotten to you, because in years past you always take the Friday off.
I did, because the draft was
on Friday.
It was on Wednesday actually.
What?
Yeah.
You would take 2 days off?
I would take 2 days off.
Man.
Because I stayed overnight and we would get at her a bit. But
so Kevin's dialing back his holidays by 2. This is
not
really
messing around.
This has really gotten to you.
So, and I'm kind of torn. I have 2 possibilities. I can keep shortstop Jacob Wilson out of Oakland, or the catcher Yanni Diaz out of Houston. So that's the coin toss that I'm in. There's not a lot of shortstops that are available. that are left as far as keepers go. Every team gets to keep 3 keepers. There's not a lot of catchers that are available either. MTR says, keep Wilson, you dope. Come on. You don't know how it works.
Is MTR still going to be an Athletics fan when they're in Las Vegas? Or just for the time being now that they're Sacramento?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know about that. He's a flipper anyway. There's no question.
Coming from you, that's pretty rich.
Stu Barnes says, Wilson, you can find a catcher still. Well, to be honest with you, Stu, that's the whole thing. I could corner the market on the catching situation because I'm already keeping Sal Perez, who is...
is there a flex spot, though, that you could play both Perez and Diaz?
But Perez qualifies it first, too.
Oh,
and then we have 2 utilities. So,
right.
That's the thing. So Cal Raleigh's
going to... DH?
Well, 2 utilities. It's the same, whatever you want. So, but here's the thing. So if you corner the market, like, again, Cal Raleigh's going to go earlier. The next best catcher available would be Rutschman.
Good player.
So. Triple C in a truck says, I can't believe MTR is an Athletics fan. I'm about to question my choices in life. That's my team, he says.
Well, fret not, Triple C, because MTR came back. He said he's Giants and Jays. So wake up.
Yeah, I guess.
So don't worry. Triple C says Bloods and Crips unite. Thankfully, it doesn't have to come to that here for our 2 most rivaled texters.
Top of the hour, Matt Barrett, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play man. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here is the Duke.
Sports 1440 update.
Last night in the NHL, the Devils double up on the Rangers 6-3. Wild one between the Canes and Penguins. Sid Crosby scored in his return to the lineup, but Pittsburgh falls 6-5 in overtime. Capitals beat the Sens 4-1. Dallas takes a big one over the Avalanche 2-1 in a shootout. Flames beat the Blues, 2-1 in a shootout. And in the nightcap, Flyers stymie the Ducks' comeback effort. They take it 3-2 in overtime. New York Islanders signed a top prospect, Cole Yzerman, to a 3-year entry-level contract. Yzerman with the 20th overall pick in 2024 and just finished his second of 2 seasons at Boston University. Edmonton Oil Kings last night winners over the Hitmen 5-1 from Rogers Place, and the PWHL. Minnesota shut out Ottawa 5-0. Vancouver took it over New York 5-2. In the association, full slate of games, including the Raptors picking up a second straight win. This one over Chicago, 139-109. Elsewhere, Golden State falling to Boston, 129-9. OKC beats Brooklyn 121-92, and in the nightcap, the Lakers get past Houston 124-116. March Madness set to tip off officially in just over an hour's time, but final 2 of the first 4 games last night, Miami of Ohio upset SMU 89-79, and Lehigh falling to Prairie View A&M in a low-scoring affair 67-55. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play man Matt Barrett and David Dwork from the Hockey News covering the Florida Panthers. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Oil Kings Hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
NHL Star Sticks are back in McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:02 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, along with Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. And again, hey, the Duke mentioned it. You want to go down and play March Madness. There are a plethora of games to choose from. Head down to your local lotto spot retailer and you can make it happen at sportsselect.com. And we've got tons of texts rolling in right now for the correct answer for our Edmonton Oil Kings trivia question. We're giving away 3 sets of 4 tickets for the regular season finale Sunday afternoon. Who is the highest scorer right now on the Edmonton Oil Kings heading into their last 2 games of the regular season? That's where we're going to go next on the big program as we welcome in Matt Barrett, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play man. Good morning, Matt. You're with Kevin Karius. As always, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Kevin, how's it going? Ready to rock. This is heading into the final stretch now.
Well, I hope you have the correct answer to our trivia question, Matt.
I think I do. Lucas Sauchin right now is, I believe, the answer.
Yeah, it's correct. Yeah. So we've got so many correct answers. It's quite easy to find anyway, but head to the Oil Kings website too. But we're going to announce our winners at the end of our interview here, Matt. But it's an exciting time. As you said, this team is getting ready to lock things down for the playoffs after Sunday's finale. But maybe just a thought on last night's 5-win over the Calgary Hitmen, where Caden Stroder had a big game.
Yeah, big game for the Lanigan Saskatchewan product. I know you'll love that, Kev. But yeah, it was one of those games where the Oil Kings have had trouble with the Calgary Hitmen at times this year. And what it seemed like all the guys were saying, including Coach Jason Smith after the game, was that they did a lot of the little things right. They competed hard and they really just made life difficult on the Calgary Hitmen. They played their style of hockey game, and they scored in the first period twice. They scored on the power play, and I think they just kind of kept it rolling, kept the momentum throughout the game, and what was a really physical, a really feisty game that kind of felt like, with the middle of a playoff series between those two.
Well, I'm going to throw, you mentioned that Stroder's from Lanigan, Saskatchewan. I'll throw something at you here, Matt. And if you can correctly answer this,
boy,
it would blow my mind. Can you tell me who was part of the Memorial Cup championship team in 2014? So it's 12 years ago, with Lanigan, Saskatchewan roots.
Oh, geez. I'm trying to think of the team.
Okay, I'll give you another one. He was a draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay.
His family grew up in Lanigan. I played with one of his his uncles. His dad, they moved to Calgary, and that's where he was, I believe, born and raised. But I won't keep you on the hook much longer, but it was Mitch Mraz.
Okay, yeah. That one, I don't know if I would have gotten that, because I probably would have thought about him as a Calgary product, right? I wouldn't have thought of that.
So Dan was his dad, and they moved to Calgary, obviously, a long time ago. But Al and I were really good friends when we were playing together, and haven't seen him for a long time. That's how good of friends we were. Anyway, Matt Barrett with us, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play man. So just touch on the remainder of the season here, the two games before we get to the playoffs here.
Yeah, tomorrow night the boys will be in Lethbridge, take on the Hurricanes, finish up that season series. Lethbridge is out of the playoffs, but obviously still, want to play some hockey and play some of your good hockey heading down into the playoffs. So there might be a chance for the team to try a couple different combinations maybe and see what they might have. And then it's Sunday against Calgary once again. It'll be their third meeting in 7 days against the Hitmen. Wow. So I expect maybe some more fireworks in that game. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, it really will get you fired up for the playoffs, even though, the teams Calgary and Edmonton can't improve or, regress in their playoff positioning. It should still be a really good game.
Are most of the playoff matchups set, or we still have a little bit to kind of tinker here with a couple games to go for most teams?
In the Eastern Conference, there's no playoff matchup set right now, really.
I guess because Red Deer and Regina, right? Yeah,
exactly right. And I think Moose Jaw won't go away quite yet. And Edmonton's still waiting on their opponent. They're locked into third though, so they're just still waiting on that opponent. Calgary's locked into fourth, but still waiting on whoever finishes better out of the 5 and 6, which is Brandon and Saskatoon. And then you're still waiting to see who finishes first in the conference between PA and Medicine Hat. So there's still some shuffling to be done as opposed to seeding and who the opponents will be. So, the final weekend still has some gravitas to it, which is always good to see.
But it's looking more and more like it would be Saskatoon for the Oil Kings, correct, Matt?
It's looking more so that way. Percentages would indicate probably, but Brandon's got Regina this weekend, who's kind of fighting for their playoff lives, and Saskatoon's got PA. So you never know what happens in a Saskatoon PA series as well. So anything could happen, but percentages, if I was a math guy, and I'm not good at math, I would say that.
You fit in well around here, I can tell you that, Matt. Matt Barrett, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play man with us on the Kevin Carey Show here on Sports 1440. Well, I want to just do some hypotheticals here. And let's look at how they were to stack up against the Saskatoon Blades. What would you see in that matchup if it were to happen?
Yeah, I mean, Saskatoon's a good team. Not quite where they'd been maybe the last couple of years where they were kind of going for it. They've got some young talent on that roster, but I think the biggest thing with Saskatoon is their goaltending. They've got Evan Gardner, who can really heat up quick and can really turn a game and turn a series maybe. But the Oil Kings are going to need to use their depth against Saskatoon and kind of grind them down. And the bottom six is going to have to be key, because I think the Oil Kings bottom six is that much better than the Blades bottom six. And that's where I think a series can be decided. And Oil Kings goaltending has been good as of late too. So, get a couple saves and all of a sudden you look at a pretty good series. So Edmonton did well against Saskatoon in the regular season. So you just hope they continue that. But as we know, season series can sometimes not mean anything. But I think the Oil Kings are in a good spot against Saskatoon if that were to be the case.
If somehow Brandon falls back into 6 and Saskatoon moves up into 5, what about an all Kings matchup?
Yeah, royal matchup, I guess. And it's a different matchup for sure. Brandon can score, I think, a little bit better than Saskatoon. It feels like they have some kind of quick fire offense that can score in bunches. So you're going to have to make life difficult on them. You're going to have to play probably a much more physical game against the Brandon Wheat Kings to sort of get them off that sort of run and gun offensive firepower type of game. So we'll see. The Oil Kings had trouble with Brandon at times this year, but they did beat them a couple times as well. So that would be a really good series as well. But, I do think the Oil Kings would be able to get out of both series for sure.
Matt Barrett with us on Sports 1440. What about overall health of the team going into the playoffs here, Matt?
Yeah, slowly some of the guys that have been out for a while are getting back. We'll see what happens here over the next couple of days and how guys kind of sit out when it comes to rest and things like that, how they manage the goaltending and kind of see how everybody is and get everybody fresh for the playoffs. If somebody's got a minor, nick or a scratch, then, you might sit them one or both of the games and you want to try and make sure everybody's good to go. So we'll see, guys like Reese Peterson and Cage Smith were day to day on the weekly report this week. So obviously positive to see those guys that they could be back on this team very shortly. And we'll see with, the rest of the roster. Guys are kind of in and out right now. The Oil Kings, Miroslav Alinka missed the most of the game last night after getting hit in the first period. So we'll see how he is. If it's minor, maybe you sit him out. We'll see. I think there's still a lot up in the air when it comes to health and who's going to play here over the next couple of days heading into the playoffs.
Text line 833-401-1440. A lot of answers coming in for a trivia question. 3 sets of 4 tickets for the Sunday finale. The question is, who is the leading point scorer? So leading the team in scoring goals and assists for the Edmonton Oil Kings. Send your answer in and we'll put you in the old the drum to pick winners to go to Sunday's game. Hey, Matt, how have the guys that were acquired at the trade deadline performed since January? And Carter Southern, most specifically, and then Aaron Obabayafo.
Yeah, Aaron's been, just kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can kind of do everything. He's been moved to center just due to a lot of the center ice injuries that the Oil Kings had at certain points this year. And he's fit in admirably at center. And he scored a beautiful goal last night where he kind of just toe dragged it through and then kind of went far side on the goaltender. And it was called off for a hand pass. But he's got loads of skill, loads of speed. He fits in extremely well with this group. So he's been awesome to watch. Slowly becoming a fan favorite, it feels like, for the Oil Kings. He just kind of does it all. He's physical, he gets involved. It's awesome to see him. Carter Southern, I think the numbers speak for themselves with Carter. Is the offensive ability for that guy is outrageous. He's got 13 goals, which basically ties his career high from previous seasons. It's ridiculous to see how he's been able to produce offensively. And he just adds another dynamic to the offense when, it can spread out the offense a bit on the blue line, and it maybe frees up guys like Ethan McKenzie and Blake Fiddler on the blue line. So the offensive blue line for the Oil Kings has become a lot more dangerous now as you add in another piece. And even go to Austin Zemlak, who they acquired right after Christmas. He's been really reliable on the blue line, plays hard, really just, doesn't give up a whole ton, not something flashy, but he just does a lot of good things well, which is, what you want out of a guy, a 20-year-old that's played over 200 games in this league. And Jackson Feuder, who they acquired as well, has been really good. He's really come into his own since he came back from injury. And, another player who just kind of does a lot of good things. He gets involved in the fight and really will stand up for his teammates, hits, just kind of does a lot of the dirty things well. Like he just kind of brings his lunch pail, and that's really good to see as well.
Hey, Matt, how do you think the goaltending gets handled moving into the playoffs by Coach Jason Smith here? Between, would you say it's been a 60-40 split between Simcoe and Snell this season?
Yeah, 55-45 maybe. I mean, it's, if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, I probably would have said, Parker Snell, after he had his back-to-back shutouts, he was on fire. But now Ethan Simcoe's come in and has been sensational over the last few starts he's had. So both guys are playing really well right now. So it's hard to say who you're going to play in game one of round one. Maybe Ethan Simcoe gets the edge just based on experience, but it's good to see both goaltenders playing really well right now. because there is a really good chance you might need both of them come playoff time, as Edmonton Oilers fans would know.
Hey, Matt, just run down again Sunday's festivities, because it's a bigger afternoon with all the personal awards being handed out.
Yeah, team awards. So pregame ceremony to kind of honor the players that will win some awards this year. That's always a really fun time to be able to congratulate those players and honor them for all their hard work through the year. Wrap up the regular season and kind of celebrate what has been accomplished. It's awesome. Always an emotional ceremony, right? As the 20-year-olds and all the players, it's super fun. And so if you haven't been to an Oil Kings game yet, I encourage you to do so. Great tickets are just at $20, right? So if you don't win one of those 4-packs, I encourage you to come to the game anyway.
Great stuff, Matt. Always appreciate it. Enjoy the last 2 games, and then good luck. Hope you guys have a hell of a playoff run. It would be awesome to see once again. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Kev, one shout out. I heard you guys talking about the 5A basketball provincials.
Yeah, sure.
Shout out to the Archbishop O'Leary Spartans, my alma mater. Good luck to them in the playoffs. So good luck to them in the provincials. Hope they do well. Thanks, guys.
Did you play?
I did play. All 3 years.
You're a tall drink of water here, man. Yeah. Probably you were probably center back then.
Yeah, I was a power forward back in the day, mainly. So yeah, I played a little bit. I mainly warmed the bench a fair bit because our team was really good back in the day. But I hope they do well. I'm always kind of keeping an eye on those guys back at O'Leary. So
great stuff. Thanks, Matt. We'll see you later, man.
Thanks, guys.
Matt Barrett, Edmonton Oil Kings play-by-play. Again, we got 3 sets of 4 tickets. The correct answer, and we had a few people that were texting in and maybe they were a little confused, but Lucas Sauchin is the correct answer. He's leading the team in scoring. To be honest with you, it's quite close between Sauchin and Holinka. Holinka's got more goals, but Sauchin is leading the team in scoring. Going into the last 2 games, he's got 83 points. Miroslav Holinka's got 80. But he's got 37 goals, having a hell of a season. So we'll pick 3 winners, and we'll get those to you over the course of the next little bit of the show. When we come back, David Dwork from the Hockey News covers the Florida Panthers. He'll be right after the break on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway from your hair loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, inviting you to come plan your winter transformation. I've helped thousands of Edmonton men and women get their hair and their confidence back. Many of them preferred the winter. Cooler temperatures are great for recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where clear out on the remaining 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas continues. It's our best seller. We've got a great selection. Starts at $59,900. They'll sell fast. There's just a few left. They're almost gone. StAlbertDodge.com. Check them out as we welcome back David Dwork from the Hockey News. Covers the Florida Panthers. Good morning, David. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks again, as always, for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Oh, appreciate you inviting me on, Kevin. It's good to be back.
I'll tell you what, David, this has been a hell of a run for this team. A hell of a run when you look back to back-to-back Stanley Cups and then a final the year prior. I think the franchise has got to be so proud of getting to the top of the heap here. Maybe just a thought on that overall perspective, where now it just didn't go well this year for several reasons, and you'll get to them. But what a hell of a run this team had.
Oh, no doubt. And I mean, when you kind of take a couple of steps back and you look at where this franchise has come from, they went what felt like 2 decades, barely even sniffing the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And now this would be, they're going to break a streak this year of 7 straight years making the postseason. You mentioned 3 straight trips to the final and back-to-back Stanley Cups. So from, a native South Floridian perspective, it's been spectacular. It's really cool also when you think about that this year being kind of the offshoot down year that it was with all the injuries. They're still loaded up to compete for Stanley Cups for the next several years, with all the guys that they have locked up to long-term deals and the cap flexibility that they're going to have. Not a lot, but they're going to have some. So it's just an amazing time right now for Panthers fans. I hope that they're all kind of taking this season into perspective for all the reasons that I just mentioned. But just life is good to be a hockey fan in Florida these days,
Which is great. And that's what the league needs. That's what South Florida needs. How much would you say Bill Zito, the credit that he deserves since he joined the organization?
Is there a number bigger than 100%? Bill Zito has been spectacular since the Panthers hired him back in September of 2020. You go back to the first moves that he made to try to change the culture in the locker room, bringing in Patrick Hornquist, bringing in Radko Gudas, and the veteran guys that were going to help hold everybody accountable. And it's just kind of flourished since then. Whether he makes a move where it works out, you're talking like bringing in the Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett, or, like a guy like Vinny Hinostroza, who didn't work out when he first came here, but Bill traded him back to his hometown team just to do right by the player. Now he's back. He's happy. It's just really cool to see how Bill Zito has worked, not only as an executive, he's also really filtered his way into the community. He just recently got on the board of trustees at the Science and Discovery Museum in Fort Lauderdale, which is really cool. They have a Florida Panthers exhibit right now. It's just the way that it's kind of trickled away from the arena and throughout South Florida and the Broward County communities. It's really cool how he's embraced it down here. And the fact that he's had all the success, the hockey stuff, it's just exponentially awesome.
Will he be the next GM, David, of U.S. hockey on the international stage for the World Cup and Olympics in 2030?
I would imagine he's in line for that. I don't know how ready Billy Guerin is to relinquish those reins, but certainly you would think he's in the conversation. Right now, Team USA is handing over the GM reins for the next couple of tournaments to Brett Peterson, who's Bill's AGM here in South Florida. So clearly that there's, some ties that would go into that. It's something fun to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking earlier, and Billy Garrett's stress levels were through the roof here for the last year or so since the team was named. So he might need a couple of years off for sure. David Dwork with us from the Hockey News in Florida. What was the feeling? And again, just to go to this year at the start, when Alexander Barkov went down with the knee injury before the season, I can't imagine how devastating a blow that would be to an organization. You're looking for a possible three-peat here, and then you lose your best player. Just take us back to the beginning of the year there, David.
Yeah, it was strange because you're already coming into the season. You know that you're going to be without Matthew Tkachuk for a while. So you were already kind of coming in a little bit on the short end. And then Sasha went down on what was his first day of practice at training camp. All the veteran Stanley Cup guys took the first week off and just did some off-ice stuff and got their mental reps in. But Barkov's first practice, within 20 minutes, down he went. And you could kind of tell that it wasn't nothing, that it wasn't something minor. And so that from that point on, it was just almost like you're holding on for dear life with this season. Like, okay, they have two of their very best players who are out, but just get to the playoffs. We know what this team can do if you get them to the postseason. So that was kind of the mantra early on. Then 2 games into the season, you lose Dmitry Kulikov for months. You've had guys that have been getting chipped up throughout. So it's just been a very, almost kind of like you're not cashing in your chips, but it's like, when so much has happened positive, it's like the law of averages starting to play out. It's like, all right, you guys need to take a little step back here. And for me, like, I'm kind of taking it in stride. Like, okay, these guys are going to be able to come back next year. Mm-hmm. Not only are they going to be healthy, but they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, which when you give that to this Panthers team, we've seen what would happen when they kind of play angry. But this season, it's just kind of felt like there's been a dark cloud over it the entire way. So to see kind of how it's playing out now, I guess the light at the end of the tunnel was when it came to light that they had the top 10 protected pick. So then they had something else to play. Mm-hmm. Play for toward the end of the season. But I just keep going back to what this team is going to be moving forward and how this season is just probably going to be the forgotten one when all is said and done.
Yeah, moving forward here is, that's how a franchise, a successful one, when there's the situation that they're in right now, that's what they have to do. And is the number one thing looking forward with this team, Sergei Bobrovsky, and what the plans are for him? Or is there another direction that they go goaltending-wise in the future here, David?
I think it's kind of both. I think there is a plan to keep Sergei Bobrovsky in South Florida. Bob wants to stay here. He's very happy here. He's raising his 2 kids here, his wife, his family. That they've been here now for 7 years and they're happy. And he wants to stay. And the Panthers want to keep him too. So I would imagine that once the season's over, that it's not going to take a long time for them to come to a deal to keep Bob in South Florida. However, he's going to be 38 years old on opening night. And they've already been not limiting, but they've already been kind of managing his starts over the last few years, keeping him in the 50 to 55 range. So even with Bob, assuming Bob stays for another 2 or 3 years, they're still going to have to bring in another goaltender to start probably half the games during the regular season. Then when they get to the playoffs, you would think it would be Bob, but that's, a year from now. So we would deal with that at that time. But in terms of other than Bob, the Panthers goaltending excellence department has done such a good job picking out goaltenders since their formation. You go to Anthony Stolars, you go to Vitek Vanacek, this season with Daniil Tarasov. They're the ones, Luongo, that targeted Devin Levi the year before he was going to be a draft prospect, and they turned that into a big asset that helped bring Sam Reinhart down here. So I'm confident knowing that group of guys is going to be able to find another goaltender. They've done it every time that they've had that chance. So I think the Panthers goaltending situation is going to be okay.
Just only Brandon Bussy's the only guy really that, and I bet they thought that
got away, right?
I bet they thought he was going to sneak all the way through waivers, didn't they?
Well, he had in the past, right? Yeah. I guess it just became my thought at the time was maybe Carolina was also like in the mix to sign him in the offseason. So they had an eye on him already because we've known that Carolina, they've been looking for a solution at goaltender for a few years. But yeah, that was the one, right? Because if he would have stuck around, you would think maybe he'd be that heir apparent.
Well, hey, 20 some teams passed on him, didn't they?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's why I guess Bill Zito maybe thought he could do it. But so, yeah. Again, it was just one of those situations where you load up on as many guys as you can to get the depth that the Panthers have kind of been known that's carried them the last few years. But that one just wasn't able to sneak one past the goalie, for lack of a better term.
Good one. David Dork from the Hockey News, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show here on Sports 1440. We're going to have Brian Benning coming up at the top of the hour, longtime Edmonton product, St. Albert. His son, Michael, gets called up a week ago. I talked to Brian last night, just a proud papa, now son number 2 in the NHL. David, what have you seen from Michael Benning in the 3 games that he's played so far for this team?
He's really fit in pretty seamlessly. I mean, this is somebody in Mike Benning that had a really good season with the Charlotte Checkers in the AHL, became somebody that they counted on for offensive upside from the blue line while providing pretty steady defensive play. He was gobbling up minutes there, and the Panthers felt pretty confident that he was ready for an NHL spot. And yeah, he's really hit the ground running, done a great job. Paul Maurice hasn't really seemed to shield his minutes much at all. And he seems to be having a good time too. Like, he's smiling out there. And I would imagine that just as a younger dad, but as a dad myself, I can only imagine the proud papa feeling that Brian has right now. It's just very cool situation. And I hope that Michael can stick around for the duration, just for the experience and because he's looked pretty good.
Yeah. And I mean, I think he's playing like about 15 minutes a game, something like that. He had an assist in the first game. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play live tonight. I can't remember the last time it would be. I think he was playing maybe bantam hockey. I can't even remember the last time that saw him play live, but we'll see. David Dwork with us from the Hockey News. Hey, what kind of game do you think tonight's going to be, David? We've been I was hyping this up weeks ago, but with the Panthers flickering and coming out of the playoffs and no Leon tonight for the Oilers, what are your expectations for tonight?
You know, I've been thinking that, kind of running through that myself since I woke up this morning, just in terms of like what kind of atmosphere, because the Panthers are back in Edmonton for the first time since game 5 last year, I think it was. And they've been there so many times over the last few years. Like, it just comes with all this memories and history. But then, for the reasons that you talked about, the Panthers are, come into the building limping. They're not playing particularly well lately, and it's understandable why. The Oilers, what are they? I think second place in the Pacific right now behind the Ducks. But without Leon is tough, obviously. I think one thing that we might get tonight is some of the extracurriculars that these teams don't like each other, and so many of those players are still around. Matthew Tkachuk will be out there tonight, I would assume. So there'll probably be some of that chippiness, but I think at the end of the day, these teams are kind of heading in different directions right now. So I don't know if we're going to get the excitement maybe that we would have if they were both, in similar spots in the standings and with, everybody or a lot of the guys healthy. But I feel like these teams, the way that they've intersected over the last few years, that this isn't the end of the Panthers-Oilers rivalry. This feels like something that's going to go on for at least the next few years.
Oh, that would be great because, I mean, the last 2 playoffs, as you know, I don't have to tell you, they've been fabulous to watch and, incredible hockey. Oilers were so close, and full marks to Florida, especially last year, because they were the much better team when the series was 2-2. And, everyone thought, okay, it's 2-2. Oilers have technically home ice in a best of 3, and the confidence was there, but Florida just totally dominated the Oilers in games 5 and 6. Maybe just take us back to your recollection of the last 2 games of last year's Stanley Cup final, David.
Kevin, I think it started in game 4, which was when the Panthers went up big. I think they were up like 3-0 in the first period. Edmonton stormed back. They got the overtime goal, I believe, by Draisaitl to knock that series up. And I think that kind of acted as a bit of a wake-up call for the Panthers. Like, they were, suddenly you're up 2-1 in the series. You've got a big lead. You're thinking, okay, we got this. And then Edmonton comes storming right back and showing Florida, like, yeah, we're a much better team than we were last final. And I think that kind of maybe not scared the Panthers, but certainly jolted them into waking up. Because I remember going out to Edmonton for game 5 last year and just wondering, like, man, the way Edmonton came on in game 4, like, are we really going to be having another 7-game series? And to see that the way the Florida responded was pretty impressive on their part, considering it was at that point of the season where, who knows how much gas you have left in the tank. So to see them come out and really turn it back up and take it to another level, from this perspective, it was pretty neat. I'm sure from the northern perspective where you're sitting, not as fun.
Well, you're right. I mean, Leon did score in overtime. Sam Reinhart scored late to tie it. But again, coming back 2-2, you win that game. There were so many people, especially after what happened the year prior when you win game 6, and then you go. It had the feeling of 2006 for Oilers fans, David, when they were going to Carolina for game 7 after a decisive win in game 6 here against the Hurricanes. Maybe just a couple last ones for you, David, in the sense that now that the big bad Bears, the Dragons, been slayed, so to speak, in the Eastern Conference, I'm sure all these teams out east, like Tampa, and well, they're not going to make it. But think about if the Toronto Maple Leafs would have made the playoffs. Holy smokes! Here, how about all these teams out there going? We don't have to go through Florida anymore here.
I'm excited for the playoffs just as a fan perspective, because I mean, look, Buffalo's looking great, and that just throws everything out, right? Oh my God, the Buffalo Sabres are back, so that would be cool. The Penguins look like they're going to be a playoff team, and they're a fun one to watch. I've been really enjoying watching Detroit to this point. I hope they can hold on, but I mean, Columbus is right there. There's all this fun happening. In my opinion, it's a lot of fun to see all these teams going at it. Carolina's still Carolina. They just keep trudging along, and hopefully they can maybe get over the hump in the playoffs for their sake this year. But I'm just, at the end of the day, Kevin, I'm just a big hockey fan that's lucky to be doing what I'm doing. So when I'm looking at this playoff race and all these teams closely competing, some that you haven't seen in there, in the last few years, that just gets me very excited. So I'm pumped for this year's playoffs for sure.
Who would you say is the best team in the East? And I got a feeling if you were to say the team that I would like to see win the East is Buffalo.
I think Buffalo's maybe playing the best right now. I think it's hard for me to to not think about Tampa just because between what Kucherov and Vasilevsky are doing, John Cooper is, in my opinion, probably the Jack Adams winner this year. It's just hard to not look at Tampa with all the experience they have. But saying that, like, I'd love to see a team like Buffalo or even, Pittsburgh. They had some success, fairly recently. So maybe not them, but if Columbus can get him, that would be cool to see them have some success. Like, I want to see the non-traditional teams. I want to see what the Panthers were a few years ago. I want to see someone else kind of jump into that and have some fun too. So, I don't know. It's hard I just keep going back to Buffalo. Like, they've just looked so good for so long now.
Everyone does, David, because it's been so long. It's been 15 years since we talked about relevance in Buffalo. So,
yep.
Thanks so much, as always, for coming on, David. Enjoy tonight's game stretch run in the playoffs. I'm sure we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot, as always, for being a part of the show.
Oh, happy to come on. Enjoy the game tonight, Kev.
You betcha. You too. That's David Dwork from the Hockey News, covers the Florida Panthers. That's a hell of a run they've been on. And man, that would have been so cool to cover 2 back-to-back Stanley Cup champions for a guy like David. That's the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. And again, the Jeep Wranglers from 2025, they're being cleared out. Great selection. There's just a few left, actually, to be honest with you. So it's not a great selection. There's just a couple left. But check them out at stalbertdodge.com. Oilers announcing that Leon Draisaitl is being placed on LTIR, and Roby Järventie has been recalled from Bakersfield on an emergency basis. When we come back, we will announce our trivia winners and 3 sets of 4 tickets to the Edmonton Oil Kings regular season finale. And we're going to go in or out with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select on Sports 1440 AM, and streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana Juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Divorce is never easy, but Fairway Divorce Solutions can help.
Their clear step-by-step process addressed all our issues, and we moved through the process quickly.
Fairway didn't take sides. They saved us money and heartache.
My ex, the kids, and I feel like we'll all be okay.
At Fairway Divorce Solutions, trained mediators and in-house lawyers will move your divorce process forward in a professional and efficient manner to achieve a fair resolution and separation agreement. Visit fairwaydivorce.com.
The Price is Right, live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Got that feeling? The one that makes you want to roll the windows down and just drive? A puddle! That's not just spring fever, that's a sign that it's time to visit Nisku Ford. They've got the cure for your driving fever with their biggest offers of the year. Get rebates as high as $12,000 on select new models, or drive away with 0% interest. Don't just dream about the open road, own it. Find your cure for spring fever at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
If we win the $46,000 early bird, I'll be nicer.
Really?
Well, mostly.
All right, I'll take it.
You know what's nice? Tickets are only $30, and every ticket helps support kids through free mentorship and after-school programs. Don't miss out. The early bird deadline is March 19th at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:42 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440. What's the reasoning behind that intro song, Duke?
One Shining Moment?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not familiar?
No.
They've so at the end of March Madness every year after the champion is crowned, they cut the nets down. CBS puts together like this minutes long montage of all the best moments, whether it's like the guys in the Speedo last night behind the basket trying to distract from the free throw, or Dickie V kissing Chuck on the cheek the other night. You know, all the feel good stuff and the big moments, and that's the song that they play over top of this montage. One Shining Moment. It is.
Who sings that? I have no idea.
March Madness.
Who is it?
Good question.
Okay.
I've got David Barrett and Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross.
Is he like the composer?
He was an old singer. Yeah, he would have
okay.
been. But I don't know, Duke.
You don't like it?
Not really.
Oh,
no.
that gives me like goosebumps hearing it.
It reminds me of that, like the whole years and years ago, they used to have this thing that would travel around all the places. Maybe they still do. I think it was called Up with People.
Okay.
And they would have like a couple hundred people on the stage. And then that reminded me with Up with People.
All right. Well, I'm sorry you don't like it, but I love it. One shining moment.
What do you think of this text from Corey? KK is going to need one of those big dump trucks they use in Fort McMurray for his cojones after picking Florida to miss the playoffs and then recently finding out that he goes commando. Oh, boy. Beautiful, Corey. Love it. Time now for In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. You need fast air conditioning service? Well, Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, and installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Let her buck.
Game day, Edmonton Oilers taking on the Florida Panthers, searching for their second 3-game win streak of the season. Stanley Cup final rematch, despite some bloodlust from Oilers fans and Kevin Karius himself. I think the Oilers would be better suited to steer clear of all the shenanigans and extracurriculars for tonight's game.
Can we have both, Duke? No, I'll be in. That was a month ago when we were talking about, or I was talking about some things that I would like to see tonight against the Panthers after what happened at the Olympics and things like that. So, yeah, the 2 points is massive. They got, again, when you look at their schedule and where they're at and who they got upcoming, I told you in the break that game against Anaheim here next Saturday, an afternoon tilt could very well be for first place, depending on who wins that game in the Pacific Division. So, I think we might see a little bit. The one thing that I want to see the level of intensity. If it's a hard-hitting, hard-check game, that would be great. Don't need to get into anything else. But you know what? Sometimes other people instigate things, Duke, where you have to respond. So, so there's where that fine line is. If someone on Florida instigates and crosses the line, well, then that has to be taken care of.
I would be inclined to agree with you on that statement, but at the same time, so let's just use the elephant in the room and say Matthew Tkachuk, knowing that
that's the elephant in the room, Duke?
Well, someone could do something. Yeah. Listen, the Panthers have nothing to play for, and as a result, not really anything to lose here in the home stretch of the season. So if Tkachuk is up to his antics and trying to go after McDavid or Bouchard or one of these teams, the team's star players. And I do think it matters in this context that I'm framing everything, the fact that Leon Draisaitl's not playing. Absolutely. You want to see a response from the Oilers and don't take it lying down. But at the same time, if he's trying to get into it with Pud Colson or Max Jones or whomever, right? One of these players that is more likely to engage with him.
Yeah.
I think it's cliche, but it's kind of a turn the other cheek thing and say, hey, buddy, take your 2 Stanley Cup rings and play out the string. Like we're not giving you the satisfaction of getting our goat here in the final dozen games of the season. So
I'll tell you what, Duke, these are proud guys and guys that lost last year and lost the year prior. And the last thing that they want to do is have Florida come in here and run their show like they did in the previous last year especially.
And I'm with you about I'd still love to see the game be intense and physical in nature. If this could be some sort of duplication of what I watched last night between Dallas and Colorado, man, I'll sign up for that 6 times a week and twice on Sunday. But just the state the Panthers are in, I'm not sure we'll see it. I'm sure they will try and do that, and the Oilers' response can be in kind. But it's more so just, like I said, the after the whistle stuff, the gloves in the face and trying to instigate that the Panthers could pursue, where I'm saying the Oilers just, turn around and say, all right, have a fun extended spring this year and carry on with the rest of the game. Despite winning their first game without Leon Draisaitl earlier this week, there's been quite a bit of national media narrative that I was pretty surprised to see, actually, from across, and we even heard it a little bit yesterday from our guest Evan Lingen about the Oilers potentially missing the playoffs due to Leon Draisaitl's absence. And the standings currently sit that, yes, the Oilers are just 1 point out of first place in the division, and they are 6 points clear of the final wildcard spot, which currently belongs to the Seattle Kraken and LA Kings at a tie. So with all that in mind, I really don't get it. I think that there's essentially no danger of missing the playoffs, if for no other reason than the fact that the Pacific Division is not good. And you'd have to fall so far here, even without your second best player.
No, I'm in with this one too. And I'll be honest, Duke, and let's just call it the Toronto media, because that's really all there is, right?
Well, they have nothing else to talk about, so
it's embarrassing. It really, truly is embarrassing, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. But it really is embarrassing when they stick their nose into what's happening out here and have no idea what's happening out here, because they don't. They have enough problems figuring out what's going on out there. So when they stick their nose into things out here without any information, relevance, I mean, for them to keep talking, they end up talking about things like about Connor Ingram, and they're 3 weeks late to the party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because everyone else has been talking about it, and they don't have anything to talk about amongst themselves.
Well, you run out of steam on lambasting Department of Player Safety and George Peros for the Matthews thing. All of a sudden, that loses the flavor of the week. And you say, if you're in Toronto, the center of the universe, when it comes to hockey, you say, well, the Leafs stink. And apart from all the locals saying, I hate this team and trade everybody, and Nylander played his worst game ever as a Maple Leaf, and they're lost to the Islanders. Like that, and we know it firsthand, Kevin. Like in Edmonton, it's just as motivated.
So on that, sorry to interrupt you, but just that what do you call it? The overdrive show?
Sure.
We had a texter this morning say, because we brought up Evan Bouchard, and it was brought up on overdrive, and they totally dismissed it without even talking about it, saying it's irrelevant.
Well, because they had Struddy on, which they do quite regularly, and that was kind of the topic. And I think it was originally dismissed when brought up, and then they got Struddy on to maybe hear the other side of it. But from what I saw of it, which was not its entirety, they still continued to, as you say, dismiss it and not give it the legitimate airtime and conversation that it deserves, which you and I are in lockstep on this. It affects the same way, where we have been as hard on this guy as anyone. When his play is not up to snuff, whether it be in a playoff game in the first round against the Kings last year or back in October, November of this season, like that's the business we're in. When guys aren't playing well, you can say they're not playing well, but that's just not the case with Evan Bouchard right now. And he absolutely deserves to have his name in that specific conversation. And we've kind of deviated from where we're at here, but I think it is the overarching point about the outside looking in. People love to say, it's like, well, the Oilers suck. They're carried.
I can't do it now with Leon.
Without Leon, they have no prayer. They're first round fodder for whoever plays them, even if Leon's back in action. Like, come on now. I don't buy that one bit.
If I'm correct, after Matthews went down, did Toronto not go into Minnesota and beat the Wild without Matthews? And I know it's a garbage game for the Leafs, but every person in Toronto would have, blah, blah, blah. But then now, it's just embarrassing. Just embarrassing.
The Panthers themselves, they are set to miss the playoffs after 3 straight Cup finals, back-to-back Stanley Cup championships, the first, of course, in their franchise's history. And all the credit to you, Kev, to that texter that sent it in. You led the break with about your prediction on this at the start of the season, saying these injuries may, in fact, be too much for them to overcome, combined with the amount of hockey they've played the past few years. You're right. It did seem to all add up for them. But if I'm looking at this team and how it's built, I do think this season is the aberration. Yeah. It's more of just a reset, and I expect the Panthers to be back in contention as quickly as next season.
And that was before Barkov went down. I said that, Duke.
Right.
That was before Barkov went down. They just played a lot of hockey. That's where I felt about that. But they have all their guys signed and long-term. They're all signed till the end of the decade here, Duke. All their main guys up front. They got the $2 million relief from Chicago with Jones. Ekblad signed up till the decade, and then plus same with Forsling. Same with Mikkola. The only thing they got to worry about is goaltending right now. And
Yeah,
that's the only
the future of that is the question mark, I would say. Absolutely.
So that's it. And the thing that they have to find a way back, and I don't see it being a problem. You got to find, it's the hunger, the will. It's everything that you want to get back, because it's so hard to do this.
Once you've tasted, and it could kind of, maybe you look at it in two different perspectives. One is that when you become a champion and you achieve everything you've set out to, that motivation can wane a little bit and deteriorate, where you say, I have 2 cup rings in my back pocket. It's kind of tough to find that motivation, like you said. But at the same time, you also hear a lot of professional athletes across sports say, when you get the taste of winning and what that's like, it consumes you thinking about getting there again.
And that's the difference between elite level athletes in any sport and the average Joe.
Right. I could not agree more with you. Over to the hard court, where March Madness officially tipping off today. Pretty solid first 4 games. I will say last night's pair were not as good as Tuesday night's openers, but that's all right. They're not all going to be gems. Not the most exciting thing to say, and I hate to do it because we all love the upsets and the surprises, but I think we're going to see another chalk board this season. For the first time in tournament history, we will have a Final Four comprised of all number 1 seeds in back-to-back tournaments.
I'm in, Duke. Yeah, so we got Duke, the Duke. We got Arizona. We got Michigan. We got Florida. So
so I mean, hey, Kev, I don't know if you have your bracket.
I do have it up
in front of you.
I have my own personal one. Yeah.
Inside the rest of your, if we're going outside the Final Four, your Elite 8, what other you don't got to tell me teams or anything, but like other numbered seeds do you have?
The highest one I have is 4.
Okay.
No, sorry, I got 6 in the Elite 8.
You have a 6 seed?
I have a 6 seed. Yeah.
Who is it?
I'm not telling.
Oh, okay. I've got 2 seeds and I've got a couple 3 seeds, and it's chalk as chalk can be. But you and I led the show discussing this. Today's environment of college basketball and college sports, the top is just even more top heavy than it ever has been. Now, this year in particular, I think you come in and say there's no clear cut favorite. Maybe it's Arizona because of the injuries to Duke and they're a little banged up. Florida's waning a little bit. I can appreciate that inside these number 1 seeds, it could be anybody's tournament, but I do think that in a season where it's been pretty open, these 4 have given themselves some pretty clear separation, with maybe the most minor exceptions in the likes of Houston and others. So I like it. I'm all in on the Gators to go back to back. They gave me the success last year, even if I didn't actually win the bracket itself.
You want to hear my number 6? We're 20 minutes away, Duke, right?
If someone's scrambling to go follow your lead, Kev.
What if they did?
Can I guess?
Well, the king of Fort Nasty's bang on, Duke.
Oh, I didn't even see his text. Oh, the Vols. I don't know.
I have Tennessee.
I've been so high on Tennessee the past couple seasons, and they just can't get over that Elite 8 hump. I don't know. So I suppose I could see them getting to the Elite 8, but definitely
I think that's
not.
what he said, right? That's what the question
was,
right?
In my ladies bracket, I have the Lady Volunteers pulling off an upset in the first round. They're underseeded in the first round.
I have Tennessee getting past Virginia, Duke.
All right. Okay. And see, Virginia is one of the 3 seeds I have in my Final Four.
Okay.
So that could be proved decisive in our own head-to-head, Kev.
Very nice.
Sticking with the March Madness theme for question number 5. If you're picking days over the course of a calendar where you're taking the day off of work, or days maybe off of work, to watch sports, I think a power ranking 1 through 3 reads: first 2 days of March Madness, Thursday and Friday of the Masters. And then this is a little bit of a cop-out because it is more sporadic, only every second year if you're balancing between the 2 winter and summer events, but the Olympics.
Sorry about Duke.
You take Masters number 1?
Masters would be number 1 for me. Number 2 for me would be opening day of baseball.
Okay.
So it's changed because it used to be, sometimes it was on a Monday.
Right.
Sometimes now, again, it'll be Friday. It's Wednesday for opening day next week in Tokyo or wherever they're playing. And then I would have March Madness. So 3 for me, number 3. So Masters, opening day of baseball, and then March Madness. Olympics for me, who knows what, especially with where it's being played.
And I think that does matter here because more often than not, it is in a different time zone. Obviously, the next Summer Olympics are going to be in LA, which is nice, and then back in Salt Lake City and in a couple winter cycles as well. So we'll have that benefit. But I don't know if I suppose it's a little bit more personal if you know somebody that's in it, you got a personal tie to it, or you just really love one event that they're all on during the day. So if you just take a day or two off over the course of the 2 weeks, I think that's all right. But your opening day is a good one because I'm a big fan of that too. I love taking in as many games as I can once the MLB season gets going.
I was thinking it's 50 years. The Jays are technically in their 50th season.
Yes.
And their opening day in 77 back at Exhibition Stadium. If you see the old pictures, it's snowing. It's snowing against the Chicago White Sox,
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I can't remember what schools were playing. It was one of the new Big Ten, because there's a college baseball on, or like the spring league and stuff, whatever they play. And it was a Big Ten team playing our Big Ten league game. I think it was like USC in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're having to play baseball in the snow. And if he was saying this is one of the underrated parts about new conference alignment that isn't getting enough love, that teams that are California based or West Coast based have to all of a sudden come to the Midwest and play in less than desirable conditions. But
Exactly. Good stuff, Duke. In or out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. Check them out at prosolutionsinc.ca. When we come back, Brian Benning, son of Michael and Matt too, I guess, and Abby. And Abby, Panda's legend. That's right, Duke. He'll be with us right after the break on the Kevin Karius Show. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
game day of the Edmonton Oilers as it's a rematch of the past 2 Stanley Cup Finals. Florida Panthers in town for a 7 o'clock puck drop from Rogers Place. Pre-game coverage beginning right here, starting at 6. Around the rest of the NHL, busy slate with 10 games. The Jets are in Boston. Sens host the Islanders. Habs up against the Red Wings. Blackhawks are in Minnesota. Canucks hosting Tampa Bay. Mammoth in Vegas. Kings hosting the Flyers. And the Red Hot Buffalo Sabres take on the San Jose Sharks. In the PWHL, just one game tonight. Seattle is in Montreal. And from the association, 8 games total. Orlando and Charlotte. Chicago hosting Cleveland. Lakers up against Miami. And San Antonio playing Phoenix. Tough news for the first-place Pistons who are in Washington tonight as Cade Cunningham diagnosed with a collapsed lung and is expected to miss an extended period of time. March Madness tipping off here coming up in about 15 minutes' time, starting with the Ohio State up against TCU. Some other matchups today. Nebraska playing Troy McNeese up against Vanderbilt. Number 1 seeded Duke playing Siena. And another number 1 seed in the South region, Michigan, playing Howard. Coming up in hour 4, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Brian Benning as well as Zach Lang from Oilers Nation. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, the Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in 3s. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the VLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 10:05 in Edmonton, the Kevin Karius Show, presented by Sports Select. Hey, you got about like 15 minutes or so if you want to get a full docket of early March Madness games. Just head down to Sports Select or try the QR code, sportselect.com. Please play responsibly. As we welcome in old pal Brian Benning to the show. Good morning, Benji. How you doing, big fella?
Good. Good morning to you all.
Duke was really happy that you answered Domino's Pizza when you picked up your phone this morning.
Well, I was glad that he showed up for work, number one. Number two, being able to help you guys out because I know you guys like to eat.
We sure do around here. Hey, you got to be a proud papa here for sure. Son number two. We also mentioned Abby here, probably the best player in the family, but son number two made his debut for Florida. He's going to play tonight. It's got to be a special night for you and the family.
Yeah, it is. It's always nice to get accolades in hockey. It's a tough sport, whether you're playing Pee-wee or pro. Through the process, there's always challenges, and that's what sports does. It challenges you in the game of life to be better and work at something, and you work so hard, whether it's summertime or during the season or through injuries. And so it's nice to get some kudos that know that you're moving up.
Yeah. So you and Caroline, you guys went to Columbus for Michael's debut, his NHL debut last week?
Yeah. So the game was in Florida against Columbus.
Okay.
So Thursday.
Yeah.
And we made a mad dash to get there. We missed the first period, but we got there for the rest of it. There's a little bit of traffic jam in the airplanes and the airports down south. So we made our way there, and it was glad for Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Glad for all of the hockey players that get to play that first game, and put her in the books, so to say.
Yeah. Well, you played in Florida though too, so you probably had some old buddies' place to stay at when you were down there.
Well, there's some old guys there, but a lot of them are in senior homes now, and all that other stuff that goes with it. It's kind of like when you and I play on the alumni defense. It's some guys wander, and all that other stuff that goes with the game.
Well, as you said to me on our very first game, get ready to have a lot of 3-on-1s tonight.
Come on. I said, make sure you spread out. You may not recognize me till we're past the blue line.
Yeah, no kidding. Brian Benning with us here on Sports 1440. Son Michael will play his fourth NHL game tonight. Played in Vancouver the other night. You didn't make your way out to that one too, did you?
No. They went on the road trip, Seattle, Vancouver. Flying Florida was a record for us, the farthest place for one hockey game.
Man.
So we thought that was enough, and it was a good experience.
Yeah. So, I mean, you coached the kids too, and I was trying to think the last game that I would have seen Michael play live. I would have been Sherwood Park, but before that, playing minor hockey in St. Albert. Just maybe touch on that. You know, the start of where things kind of got going for Michael.
Well, we were fortunate in St. Albert to be able to coach our kids growing up, right? Scott Savoy, the boy Carter, and Mike grew up playing together. Scott and I coached the boys all the way till Bantam, and then all of a sudden we weren't smart enough to coach, so they gave us the boot, and then we put the hands into the other. But we had a really good group of kids in that age. For example, we won the Pee Wee Quebec tournament. We were in a AA category, which there was 2 St. Albert teams, and we were fortunate to win that actually on a penalty shot in overtime. And so through the process, we were able to coach. And I think when we have those opportunities, you can teach these kids a lot about the game that's maybe above their level. It's not at the Adam or the Pee Wee level. It's actually quite a bit farther, from face-off plays to some run and gun plays, some different power play, penalty kill, different things like that you really expose the kids to.
Yeah, and so cool. On that team, that's almost like 10 years ago when you're talking about in that age group. And so like Matthew Savoy is going to be on the ice tonight. Carter Savoy was on that team. Like Zach Ostapchuk, who we saw just the other day here with San Jose. You guys had a hell of a team back then.
Yeah, no, we were good. We've had some really good players through the process, and we were able to work on skills and the knowledge, because you can't control size and different things like that, right? So we were able to work on things, but we had, even our spring hockey teams, I look to, guys in the NHL and say, yeah, he was on our spring team. Yeah, this guy was on our spring team, and, different, players, and both for Matt and Michael.
Yeah.
But, there's strong years and then there's weaker years, and it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe just tell our listeners about the journey after that to Sherwood Park, after minor hockey, and then down to Denver.
Yeah, so he had 2 really good years, in Sherwood Park. That COVID year, they got shut out when they, in the COVID scenario, they were rated actually number 1 in the country in the junior A ranks. Playoffs didn't happen. He went down to Denver. Some challenging years through COVID. They were first year of college pretty much locked up in a dormitory, and but they were still able to play with no fans, to practice, and he had 3 really good years in Denver. They won the national championship his second year. Mike's MVP of the playoffs. He was fortunate enough to get some offensive opportunities, and he capitalized on it. And, a lot of times in hockey, they like that. And, so he left after his 3rd year, and, here was the challenge. You get bright lights and you have a lot of success. And, he spent 3 years in the minors in Charlotte, and, Mike's gifted offensively, but he had to learn how to play some defense. And, so that's what kind of forced him, through that process. So you have to round out your game, right? Offense is skill, defense is a willingness in my mind, and you have to commit to it. And there's some tricks of the trade for sure.
Yeah. Brian Benning with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So that time that he spent in Charlotte, again, as you said, 3 really solid years where you learn a lot, but also at that same time, the parent club can have better success. When you're down there, like, just maybe express what that would be like to see your son going, man, he's playing pretty well, but these guys, in the big club, they can't play any better with a couple Stanley Cup championships here.
Well, they went to the Cup 3 years in a row. So, you that would be a long-term goal. The short-term goal is just keep getting better every week, create 5 goals, work towards those 5 goals every game, every week, improve. How do you improve, whether it's, goals or assists or defensive play or, commitments, practice, so you really got to, narrow it down. And the game of sports is about confidence and, keeping that confidence up. And they had good teams in Charlotte. So, if it's in Florida, that'd be awesome. If it is, I played there and enjoyed it there. But if it's not Florida, maybe it's a potential another team. You never know who's looking for you and who's looking for a good offensive puck moving defenseman, right? So, the motivation is always the same. If you become the best, you move up. So you gotta strive and set your goals towards being the best. And what does that mean? It means different things for different sized guys, right? If, you're big and is one thing. If you're small, it's a different thing, right? So, those are the situations that you've dealt the hand. Now go play with it and make the most of it.
What about son number one here, Matt? And, he was so good for the Oilers here for 3 seasons, and then Nashville and San Jose, and then the old injury bug kind of got him for a bit here.
Yeah, he's been fighting that. He's coming to the end of 10 years. He had that hip surgery, and that's hard on the body. And, the shoulders are breaking down, and, knees, 10 years wear and tear. It's hard on the body. So, he's coming to that age. He's busy with a family. They just had their 3rd kid, and he returns to Edmonton or St. Albert in the summer times and enjoys it here. So, it's part of the circle of life. I was fortunate enough to play for 10 years and, enjoyed it and, still had my teeth and half my brain to get out and go challenge the world after that, right? So it's all good.
Maybe half the brain and full teeth.
Well, hey, good looks only gets you so far is what I've found.
Hey, and then we mentioned Abby too, because she was with the Pandas for so many years. Man, you guys had some very talented kids for sure, Benny.
I always say Abby was our most talented.
Yeah.
Figure skating, she was gifted, in hockey, just a prolific skater and, playmaker and stuff like that. And she won a national championship with the Pandas here and, stuff like that, just opportunities. It's a little bit shorter window for the ladies. She got an opportunity for a Canadian Olympic team tryout in one summer and, just different things like that. But, she's now married and teaching and, enjoys the game and, probably like to give back to the game in the form of coaching. But, she's married, moving on and, so maybe she's, she'll still get into it in a coaching mode.
Man, you're a lucky son of a gun, Benny. You're a lucky son of a gun. You probably even have the perfect amount of moisture getting ready for seeding here in a few weeks.
Well, I asked for this rain, get that moisture into the ground for the farmers. That's one less concern on the bucket list. But it is what it is. You deal with it and you move on.
Oh, man. I can't wait to catch up with you when I get down to the rink here in a couple hours. Always good to talk to you, Benny. Have fun tonight watching Mike play in his hometown. I'm sure he's going to be pretty excited for it.
Sounds good. Thanks for the time.
Okay, Brian Benning, longtime NHLer. Son Michael will play with the Florida Panthers. It'll be his 4th game in the NHL. Had an assist in the first game, and he's playing about 15 minutes a night. So he's a third pairing defenseman with this team right now, and hopefully he can stick with this squad down the stretch. When we come back, Zach Lang from Oilers Nation on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram, presented by Sports Select.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1022 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440 AM radio. And time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing, and it is your vehicle. From tires to wheels to oil changes, even vehicle repairs, we have you covered. Visit fountaintire.com to book your appointment today as we welcome back Zach Lang from Oilers Nation. Good morning, Zach. As always, you're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on the big program this morning. Really appreciate it.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Good. How's the morning going so far? You starting to watch a little NCAA basketball?
Yeah, just panic filled out my brackets without doing any research whatsoever. Just clicking on names and numbers out there.
Who's your winner?
I got St. John's because a guy I know through the streets of Twitter from back in the day is a big St. John's fan. So that pick's for him.
Wow. Should mention TCU and Ohio State are just underway. The Frogs are up 8-5. The Duke has picked TCU as well.
I'm on TCU as well, so nice start there.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, Zach. The horse that does you know what long doesn't do it. No, the horse. The horse that does you know what fast doesn't do it long.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I can't, when you don't say the expletive, it doesn't come out as well as what you want it to. So, well, what do you think of this game tonight? I think if Florida would be in a playoff position or even fighting for a playoff spot, it might be a little different. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. Maybe the Panthers come in here and go, this is the only game we care about for the rest of the year. I don't know. What do you think?
It honestly might be. I mean, they're putting on a generational tank job this season. I mean, they might be one of the bottom 5 teams in the league by the end of the year here. Obviously it's been a tough year for the Florida Panthers without Sasha Barkov and stuff like that. Not that I have any sympathy for them whatsoever here. But it's kind of been interesting to see what's happened out there in Florida this season. So yeah, no, and obviously I think this is going to be a game both teams are up for, right? I mean, we all know what happened here in Edmonton the last 2 years in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I think it's going to be an exciting one here tonight. Either way, their top line, I think they had Sam Bennett, Verhaeghe, and Tkachuk together. They've been putting together a couple of pretty good games here. So those 3 guys, they can always be lethal whenever they step out on the ice.
Roby Urventi gets called up this morning. It's an emergency, but having said that, the last couple recalls are technically on emergency basis recalls, but maybe someone's ill or a little bit of an injury. Maybe he makes his debut tonight. We'll see in the next little bit. What do you think of that?
Yeah, very interesting. From what I've heard, he's had a really solid season down in Bakersfield. We got a prospect writer, Spencer Promote on Oilers Nation, who's done a bunch of great coverage of the Condors this year, and he keeps banging the drum for Jarventi, and a guy who's really rounding out his game in the American Hockey League. So I think it's a well-deserved call-up for Jarventi. I'm excited to see what he can do, and who knows? Maybe he can still turn into a solid 4th line piece for this Oilers team.
Mm-hmm. I thought it might have been, to be honest with you, James Hamlin, Zach, because they know what they have with him, and he's having a pretty good season too.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who's, he could be an option for sure. He had a good run in games in the NHL a couple of years ago with the Oilers, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't mind the idea of giving a younger guy that you think is probably going to fit better long-term in your organization the shot, right? I mean, I think you could see a guy like Hamlin maybe leaving the organization, trying to get another shot somewhere else. I know there's some people out there that are still really high on him as a potential NHL guy, but I'm just not sure if there's a fit there with the Oilers moving forward. So, for me, I think for Jarventi, it's a good reward for him getting called up here after a good year down in Baco.
Mm-hmm. No, I think for sure that Hamlin looks at another scenario for him. Different locale, because and again, if you look at his body of work from a couple of years ago, there was nothing wrong with it, but from what I understand, management doesn't see a future for him in this organization. So anyways, that's a story for another day. But what do you make of how the lines shook down the other night, and how for the first time, Zach, that the lines 3 and 4, we were talking about them in the most positive of ways and contributing and being a big part of the win over San Jose?
Yeah, who knew all it would take to get depth scoring on the Edmonton Oilers was just taking Leon Draisaitl out of the lineup, right? I was really happy to see the performance from the team. I think 5 different goal scorers. I think, what was it, 11 guys had points that last game there. I like what we saw. It was good to see Dickinson get some offense going. Connor Murphy gets his first as an Oiler. Big goal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, which was really nice to see. Jack Roslovic was all over the place. Matt Savoy looking awesome up there on that top line. Needs some work on the power play for sure. You could tell he was a little bit lost out there on the man advantage, but I think that's just something that's going to come with a little bit of time up there for him, right? The fact that he's playing with McDavid and Hyman at 5-on-5, I think just bodes well for building more confidence for him. He's been a great player for the Oilers this season here. And listen, I mean, it's crunch time. I mean, we don't want to really think about it or talk about it here in Edmonton, but they're on the playoff cusp right now, whether they like it or not. It is a really tight race in that Pacific right now. So for the Oilers, they're really going to have to figure out how to bear down here without Leon Draisaitl for the next couple of weeks.
See, I was fine, Zach, to be honest with you, what Savoy did on the power play. The last power play was mostly just a clock killer, but I really thought he got the pucks in the corner, which is different in the sense that if you move Ryan Nugent-Hopkins over to where Leon's spot, the Oilers haven't had a right shot, technically where, Nugent-Hopkins has been hanging out for a couple of years. They haven't had a right shot for a while there. And I'm fine with Savoy over there. I think it's great. And I think it's great that Roslovic is the guy that came in, for the second half of the power play. But I just think that they've never had a right-hand shot over there for a long, long time in the OV spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It provides a different look, right? And I think that's something that's probably a good thing for this power play unit at the end of the day here. We all know how efficient they are, right? But I think having Savoy up there is a nice mix. And you're right, like he's a dog on a bone on the puck, right? Like he is all over it. I think it's just a matter of him not having a whole lot of ice time up there this season, or really any ice time on the power play throughout the course of the year here. So, it'll take a little bit of time for it to gel a little bit further, but I don't think he was bad out there per se whatsoever. I think it's just something he's going to have to learn a little bit more on the fly.
Yeah. Zach Lang from Oilers Nation with us on Sports 1440. I know it's just one game, but for the first time in a long time, the fourth line sort of had an identity the other night against San Jose. What would you be looking for from that line tonight against Florida?
Physical. That's what I want to see from them. Get out there, lay the body, punish the Panthers. This is something that I think this line has been doing really well, since the Olympic break. Trent Frederick really quietly putting together maybe not all that quiet, honestly, putting together some really solid games coming out of the Olympic break. I know one of our writers at Oilers Nation, Riley Delaney, is working on something, looking at maybe Trent Frederick is this year's Connor Brown. Has a little bit of a resurgence down the stretch run of the season here, and then, could maybe make some noise in the playoffs for the team. Trent Frederick's finally looking like the Trent Frederick that the Oilers, acquired 12, 13 months ago, and we're hoping that he could be, right? Evidently, it was a tough stretch for him. It's been a really tough stretch for him here in Edmonton. He's injured in his first game with the Edmonton Oilers, and he just has not looked right since whatsoever. Whether or not that ankle continued to be an injury for him, or whether it was something on the mental side where he just couldn't quite click for him, it really seems like it has here as of late. So very interesting to see, him turning it on and this fourth line turning it on. And hey, look at a guy like Max Jones, right? I mean, it's so nice to be able to have like a vet like him you can call up and just get a goal from him right away, right? And get contributions from him right away. He's fit really well when he's been called up here. So I've liked what we've seen from good old Maximum Jones.
Do you think Podkolzin can crack 20 goals this year?
He might crack 30. Holy smokes. I mean, like, let's be real here. Like, this is incredible. We all know what we've got in Podkolzin here. We've seen him the last 2 years. A really hardworking guy, a physical presence, somebody who loves to battle and dig pucks out. But boy, the offensive side of his game is absolutely turned around here as of late. And it's been great to see. The goal scoring is one thing, but man, this speed burst that he's all of a sudden got, like, I don't know what happened, over that Olympic break, but boy, like, he has absolutely got some impressive legs on him right now too. So he's becoming a dynamic player for the Oilers, and a definite fit in this top six. He's fit there all along, but getting the offense that the Oilers are getting out of him here, I mean, it's been really, really great to see this part of his game really rounding out.
Zach Lang with us on Sports 1440. Just want to let you know the lines have been pumped out. Bobby Stauffer, one of them, reporting, and they are way different, Zach. First of all, Kapanen's not the guy. He's the guy that's not on the ice today. But you got McDavid between Podkolzin and Savoy. RNH between Hyman and Roslovic. Dickinson with Szymanski, and then Lazar's in that spot. So you would think your Venti goes into there. The fourth line stays the same with Henrique, Jones, and Frederick. But totally different compensation when we're putting the lines together. When you saw Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, and Roslovic, so now you got RNH with Roslovic and Hyman. So way different tonight, Zach. Way different.
Yeah, definitely. At least we got the fourth line right there.
The only one.
Just touch on that. I don't mind it. Again, we're seeing some offense from Matt Savoy start to come around. Same with Vasily Podkolzin. Having them up there with McDavid is kind of an interesting one. maybe Podkolzin a little protection on McDavid in case the Panthers are trying anything nefarious out there. I don't mind the look of these lines. We know Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, work well together. I'd have to pull it up. I don't exactly remember off the top of my head, but in some of the brief times we've seen Nugent Hopkins and Hyman together, I don't think their numbers have been the greatest away from McDavid. So that'll be interesting to see with Roslovic there on that other wing. Szymanski, I mean, how great has he been since he's been called
Really
up
good.
too, right? I mean, just from a story perspective too. I mean, a year ago, this kid was playing in Germany and in the DEL and, making some noise there. Like, when the Oilers signed him, like, it was kind of like, oh, okay, like this is a good story, right? A German kid. He's shown well, overseas for a couple of years, but you really never know what happens with these European guys. I mean, look at David Tomasek earlier this year, right? It just really wasn't a fit for him. So for Szymanski to kind of come into North America here, his first year of North American pro hockey, and look as good as he has been great to see. So I've really liked what we've seen from him. I like this lineup. I kind of like the look of this.
Yeah. So again, McDavid between Podkolzin and Savoy. Nugent Hopkins at center. Tonight he's been playing the wing for a long time here. Hyman and Roslovic on that line. And then Dickinson, Szymanski, and we assume it would be Ruby Orvente. And then the fourth line stays intact from what we saw the other night against San Jose, and Henrique Jones and Frederick. Defense pairings the same, and Connor Ingram will start in goal. Who knows? Things could change over the course of the day. And again, not on the ice is Kasperi Kapanen. Savoy, again, you touched on him and how well he has played. And he has the ability to play on the first line, second line, and third line, wherever you put him. He is complementing the players he plays with. Normally, it's the other way around where you kind of say, this player is going to make that player better. It could be like a Connor or a Leon or whatever. Savoy is making the other players around him, whoever he's playing with, play better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think it just bodes to the development that he's had with the Oilers organization over the last couple of years. A bit of a success story here from a development perspective for the Oilers. I mean, spends a lot of time in Bakersfield last year, stepped into the NHL this year. And, throughout the course of the year, he's only seen his ice time grow, and he's looked better and better the more trust the coaching staff has put into him. And I think one other thing here too that's important to note, like, look at this Oilers lineup. We've got young guys in Matt Savoy and in Josh Szymanski playing key roles. Think back a couple of years ago and the conversations we had about young guys in Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg who are struggling to crack the lineup, let alone play top 6 minutes or important roles on the team. It seems like there's maybe been a bit of a shift from Knoblaw and in finally trusting some of these younger players. And maybe it's a realization that this is just where the organization's at right now with the need for these younger guys to come into this lineup. And maybe there's some realization from Knoblaw that, he's got to put trust in these guys. And it's been good because they're both showing, Savoy and Szymanski, that they can be trusted here. So some really positive signs overall on that front, I think.
What do you got cooking on Oilers Nation, Zach?
Oh, tons of stuff. Still cruising through our top 100. I think we had number 42 go up this morning, Bill Guerin.
Billy the Butcher.
Yeah, so still working on that. And then obviously a lot of game day coverage. We'll have Michael Menzies pre-scout here going up in a few minutes as well. We'll get some coverage of the lineup changes and the game tonight. It should be a fun one.
As always, thanks for coming on, Zach. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll talk soon.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Zach Lang from Oilers Nation, and our puck report brought to you by Fountain Tire. We care about one thing, and it's your vehicle. Check us out today. Book your appointment at fountaintire.com. When we come back, we will probably dissect these lines a little bit more, and who knows what happens. They've changed many times from the morning skate to up to game time. Who knows if Kasperi Kapanen isn't feeling well this morning. Maybe he's feeling better today. We'll see exactly what happens as the day progresses. But we're back to wrap up the show. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the number one dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you need it immediately with no overtime rates, if you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Oh, we're hungry like the wolf, Duke, for sure. Little Duran. I was looking at our baseball draft, and Jared Duran is, if I could get him in the second round, I'd be really happy with that. So that just brought, when you had Duran, I thought, man, if that could happen, that would be exciting. All of a sudden, TCU is giving it to Ohio State 2013. Terrible game, actually, but the last two shots were pretty, well, it's been bad, dude. Come on. Okay,
They're just kids, Kevin.
Yeah, they're making more money than everyone. I got a couple of questions for both you guys. So tonight, Connor McDavid could reach 1,200 points.
Wow.
Career. He's 3 away. Does he do it tonight? Can he do it tonight against Florida? Or will game script dictate that it's going to happen down the road? So, both of you guys, Duke, you and Josh, can get your 2 cents in here.
Okay. Could it happen tonight? Well, of course.
Yes.
Of
Will
course.
it happen?
Of course it could happen. Will it happen? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he gets a pair tonight, and then hockey night in Canada, Tampa Bay Lightning in
1,200.
town. He rings the bell there for the Saturday night crowd at
Joshy
Rogers
boy?
Place.
I believe he can do it
He's
tonight.
going to do it tonight.
I think he'll do it. I think there's enough anger between the two clubs that he goes for it.
Okay. Now the next question. And this is going to be tough. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is 1 point shy of 800. Will he get that tonight?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he will. If it's probably on a power play.
An assist on the power
I could
play.
have swore Jack Michaels the last game
said that
he'd hit 800, but I don't know if maybe that was an assist that ended up getting taken away. On because did he scored the second
Power
goal
play
in the
goal?
game?
No, the first one, that power play goal, the one-timer, right?
Right. So maybe he thought he had an assist on the second. No, he
No.
wouldn't have been on the ice. Oh, yeah, he would have
No,
been.
because Roscoe won the draw. Jack Roslovic.
Either way, I swear
Dickinson
that
passed it back to Murphy.
yes, I could have sworn that Jack had said that. So whether it was a miscalculation or read the wrong number on the player phone. But anyway, the point remains. Yeah, I think Nuge hits the milestone
Now,
tonight.
okay, both of you. Well, okay, when you say yes already, yes, one, right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
if he does get 800, he will become the 5th player out of the 2011 draft class to reach 800 career points. Can you name the other 4?
Oh boy, 2011.
It is not an easy question. This is a very difficult question.
Tyler Sagan?
No, that was 2010.
Oh, damn.
Tyler. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
After Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was Gabe Landeskog.
That's right. Very good, Duke. That's impressive.
Number 3 was geez, this is a blank spot.
Okay, number
the 2012 draft, one of the worst of all time. I can go through like the full top 10 picks in order, but 2011 all of a sudden I'm coming up.
I'll give you the 3rd overall pick has reached 800. He's not playing right now, but he's 2.5 hours south down the QE2.
Oh, Michael Backlund.
No.
What?
No, wait. No. That's
Josh,
my bad.
Josh, your mic's off.
Yeah, you can turn this off. He's not even at 800. That's my bad.
And he's about 84 years old.
Correct.
3rd overall.
Yeah. It's probably the worst contract going. You'll get it right away now, Duke.
Huberdeau.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Okay.
So that's number 2. Number 3, the 3rd and 4th guys play on Canadian teams.
The 3rd and 4th guys play on Canadian teams. In 2011, the Leafs were bad. Are these other like top
7,
picks?
top 7, 6 and 7. These guys are number 6 and number 7 overall. Number 6 and number 7 overall.
They play for
Canadian
Canadian
teams.
teams. That would have been not Scheifele.
Yes, Mark Scheifele.
Really?
Yeah, Mark Scheifele's at 887.
That Jets have been in Winnipeg that long already? Because he was the first Jets pick, right? After moving from Atlanta. Because his draft day, he just had an NHL jersey. Respect the logo.
Any clue, Joshy boy?
2011 Canadian team. Coming up empty.
It's Mika Zibanejad.
Oh, Senators legend.
Yes, in Ottawa, drafted by Ottawa and Winnipeg. So they were drafted by Canadian teams.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to get. Both of them, especially Zibanejad, he is, I believe, just a couple games shy of 1,000. And I think out of the whole draft, I believe RNH is the only player to play 1,000 games. And I think that is correct. Now, the 5th guy, Duke, that is part of this 800-point club. Any clue, any sniff? And if you were doing...
Is this like a later pick?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're doing a redraft, he's the 1st overall selection. And it's a very difficult, it's a hard one. It's the one, when I looked at this question and I looked at the results and the points, I was looking at it, I was like, well, I'm not getting it. How far am I going down?
Right.
And then when I looked at it, I go, oh, how stupid can a guy be?
So my initial instinct went to Nikita Kucherov, but I didn't think he was that old.
Nikita Kucherov is correct. The 58th overall selection. Duke.
Really?
Yeah. He's at 1,100 points. He's 32 years old. And how he went all the way down to 58th overall.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
There you go. It's just like him and Braden Point, right, Duke?
Right.
It
was Braden Point 2014 draft.
Yeah, that might make sense. 2014. I'm going to check on that one, Duke.
It's funny because that's
2014.
Kucherov's immediately where my mind went to, but then I had to dollar. So I'm like, I don't think he's that old. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, hey, what a player! And I know you had a quick little back and forth with one or two textures this morning about his Hart Trophy case this year and how under the radar he seems to be flying.
He's my number one right now, Duke.
If I had to vote today, he would be mine as well. But I mean, we talked about it the other day about Celebrini.
Yeah.
If the Sharks can somehow squeeze their way in here, but
I still think too, if Connor lights it up down the stretch here, that will carry a lot of weight with Leon out.
So, yeah, that will matter if they can like scale themselves to the division, win the division even without their second best player. Yeah, that would definitely be a feather in the resume, no doubt.
To be honest with you, that draft was pretty damn good in 2011, Duke. Like overall,
definitely better than the 2012. The top end, anyway.
The Oilers. That's when they got Oscar Klefbom. Hey, you know who was picked after Oscar Klefbom?
Well, I'm looking at it right now. I just scrolled back up. It's Connor Murphy.
Connor Murphy. I didn't know that. I would have to do research on that.
NDTP.
Yeah. Connor Murphy.
Ooh, Tyler Biggs. That was a tough one for the Maple Leafs.
Tyler Biggs. And think about that. They could have had, even like a guy like Phil Deneau a couple picks later.
Yeah. My boy, Ricard Raquel at the end of the first round.
Yes.
Out of Plymouth.
And then, you look at the Oilers. I mean, they thought that they thought they had two defensemen. They thought David Musial was going to be really good. And it didn't work out he had some injuries too, but.
And then they took Keegan Lowe that year too, didn't they?
5th round, maybe.
John Gibson, 39th overall. Man, Ducks are good at drafting.
Unbelievable, Duke. Not in 2011, they didn't take Keegan Lowe.
Oh, he was drafted by Carolina.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, remember? That's right. Yeah, and then he got traded, but the Oilers were looking at him, and he said, "No, I don't. I would
rather go somewhere else.
I would prefer."
Which
not.
I mean, hey, how can you blame a guy?
Yeah, but you're on the same lines. Dylan Simpson was drafted.
Oh, okay.
Craig's son.
Sure,
Craig's son.
Get the whole crew together.
Yeah, it was RNH, Oscar Klefbom, and David Musial. They had 3 first round. Well, I mean, Musial was first pick in the second round, but technically, 3 very close to first round picks. And Travis Iwanek, the old center, was picked by the Oilers as well.
And hey, just rewinding a little bit into the show, when you were giving the clues to Matt Barrett about your Oil Kings trivia and the Saskatchewan roots.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I had the right answer.
You're kidding. You had Mitch Moroz?
As soon as you said the 14 team, and then I don't remember what your other clue to it was, besides being from Saskatchewan, but I immediately was like, because he's drafted by
draft pick.
And I immediately went to Mitch Moroz.
Yeah, he was a load man back in the day. I remember, like I was telling with Matt, so it would have been his uncle Al that I played with, and I remember I might have been playing in Estevan, and the public address announcer went Malvo penalty to number 2, Al Moroz. So from the way he said it, it sounded like his first name was Elmer.
Yeah.
And then his last name was Oz. So everyone started
Elmer Oz.
Everyone started calling him
even when
Elmer.
You just said it right now, that's kind of what I thought you said without the context clues. I would have believed that 100%.
Oh man. Hey, how about this, Duke? Rashad comes up to me the other day, and after I don't care. He threw me under the bus. He says to me, "Hey, what would you do? What would you do if right now the Oilers offered Connor McDavid for Macklin Celebrini?" I said, "Well, Rashad, we talked about this ad nauseum on the show about a month ago. Don't think that you just came up with it tonight." And he had his fancy briefcase
Did he have his sneakers on?
No, he didn't have his sneakers on. But I'll tell you, him and Gregor, they sit in the press box. On left is Rashad, Gregor's to my right. And they have this big pissing contest every night about who has the nicest briefcase. Or it's like a knapsack briefcase computer thing, whatever. And Rashad starts talking about his compartments.
Did he bring his back from Italy?
I don't know.
Italian
Is that where
leather?
Gregor's is from?
I have no idea.
Anyway, so Gregor is saying, well, no, this is nicer. Look and feel it. And look at the compartments in this, blah, blah, blah. Holy man. And you know what I walk up there, Duke, with?
Nothing.
A piece of paper and a pen.
Just loose.
And these guys
just
got
just one sheet of loose leaf
you know,
paper.
they got all
and
these things.
And a Bic pen.
That's right.
They're savage, Kevin.
And Rashad has his little tablet out, and he's got one of the pens that on the screen, whatever. And Gregor's tweeting all night. God, I don't even know if they watched the game between those two guys.
Have you ever seen the videos, Kevin, of people that show up to like flights and they just have nothing?
Yeah.
They just show up and get on the plane. Like they don't have a backpack.
Yeah.
They don't have a pair of headphones.
That's me, Duke.
They don't have a pair of headphones, nothing. They got their wallet and their passport in their pocket and they're on the plane and
Duke,
gone.
that is me.
Where are you going that you're not at least taking luggage?
Kelowna. We went to Kelowna. I didn't take anything. I threw a couple things in Laura's bag and that's it. One of the best stories from back in the Oilers days was all the guys were going to Mexico or whatever, and they picked up mess, and they get to his house and he's got nothing. And they say, "What are you doing? Like, where's all your stuff?" He reaches into his pant pocket and shows the guys a credit card. He goes, "Let's go."
That's all a guy needs.
Yeah. Good stuff. That was a lot of fun, that show. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Ross Shep T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. At 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell, 2 till 6. Jason Gregor drives us home with the Jason Gregor Show. We got our pregame show with Andrew Walker, Landon Ferraro, and Donnie P. Puck drop Oilers and the Florida Panthers is just after 7 bells. Postgame show to follow. We've got Fox Sports all night long until we're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 with Eddie Steele to wrap up the week. Before that, time now for... I can't I'll just read Montana Rice. We're talking about the situation the other day with Eddie. We'll talk about that tomorrow, MTR. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton, your one-stop shop for all things welding. That's awswelding.ca. Hey, thanks everyone for all the great texts. Thanks for listening this morning. Thanks for interacting with us. We could not do it without you. Hope you have a rest of a great Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 bells. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they have a rematch of the past 2 Stanley Cup Finals up against the Florida Panthers tonight from Rogers Place. Puck drop coming just after 7 o'clock. And earlier this morning, the team placing Leon Draisaitl on LTIR and recalling forward Roby Yarventi from Bakersfield. Around the rest of the NHL, 10 of the games, including the Bruins hosting the Jets, Islanders in Ottawa, Red Wings up against the Habs, Blackhawks playing the Wild, Preds host the Kraken, Lightning are in Vancouver, Golden Knights host Utah, Red Hot Sabres are in San Jose, and the nightcap, Philly taking on the Kings from SoCal. In the PWHL, lone game on the schedule has Seattle in Montreal, and in the association, busy night, including Charlotte hosting Orlando, Lakers up against Miami, San Antonio playing Phoenix, Sixers are in Sacramento, and the Detroit Pistons are in Washington. Tough news for Detroit as Cade Cunningham, being diagnosed with a collapsed lung, is expected to miss an extended period of time. March Madness underway from across the United States. TCU currently up against Ohio State. Nebraska taking on Troy. And still to come, number 1 Duke playing Siena. Number 1 Michigan up against Howard. And number 3 Gonzaga will take on Kennesaw State, amongst many others. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports